Welcome to Spurs Kings TV. It's Monday. It's time for Ashmatic Analysis. Everyone's on screen today because I can't be asked to bring everyone out.
Marlon is down. Why Marlon is gone? Simmons made him rise up, and then Donzo made him fall down.
Yeah, I thought I had a little bit more time. I was just cleaning up my desk real quick, and I just see myself on screen. I'm like, oh, okay. Fair enough.
I personally, I think we're gone. So I was gone after Fulham. So.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, we're gone. You're right.
So I don't know what you lot think, but geez. But yeah, look. West Ham have drawn tonight. Forest won 4-1 yesterday. Leeds won, was it 4-0 on Saturday? I can't remember now.
I think they won. Or 3-0. It was 3-0.
Yeah. So Leeds are now 9 points, so we need a minimum of 4 to even catch them. 4 wins. Forest, we need to win 2 at least. And West Ham, we need to win 1. And making sure they don't get results on top. So where do we go from here? You know, a team that hasn't won in 2026. An excuse that everyone used on the weekend was that Brighton were the most informed team. That's why we didn't win. So we're the least informed team. Where are we going to get this win from, boys?
All right, I'll start off. Listen, if we're going to do this, we do it properly, innit?
Oh.
I'm joking. Go on. I'm playing.
Jeez, man.
Oh, you go, Ash. I'm no, being serious. Let's go. You're like, you got to talk. Go, man.
Hey, listen. Look, football is a funny old game, right? And I think before De Zerbi came, I couldn't see any fight, bro. I'll be real. And I was actually thinking, right, are they trying to like sabotage us on purpose? Because the way Mickey van der Ven gave away that penalty against Crystal Palace, I will never forget it. And I was thinking, right, do you want that Liverpool move that bad? Romero, I thought he had tapped out. I thought he was gone. And I was like, the back line, they just seemed like they weren't playing for anyone. They were just trying to get their moves, and they were out. They were just out of it. Obviously, fast forward, we go to De Zerbi. De Zerbi comes in, Sunderland's first game, whatnot. The team sheet's a bit dubious. There's people like saying, why was Palhinha didn't start? Why is Xavi not starting? Blah, 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 blah. Anyway, we end up losing that game, innit? Irrespective of what people thought, we end up losing that game. We come to this game now, and for me, I saw a bit more fight, in my opinion. I saw a bit more energy. So before, I was just seeing Archie Gray. It was Archie Gray that had the fight. I remember when everyone was hyping Archie for a little bit. Oh, look at Archie Gray. He's the only one that looks like he cares. Rare. I think it was the first time I saw all 11 players on the pitch, whether they're good enough or not. It's a different conversation. We'll get into that. But it was the first time I saw these 11 players, in my opinion, like kind of on it. You know what I'm saying? And then even the bench, like, especially when Xavi, I know I'm going a bit forward. When Xavi scored, I saw Richarlison jump off the bench. I see Madison jumping off the bench. I see like the whole bench, even the players that weren't involved, they all kind of like got off the bench and started like applauding the team. Dragoshin as well. He was in the stands. Everyone was up for it. And then when they scored, I saw Xavi's face because the narrative was that Xavi didn't care anymore. He was upset. He doesn't care, blah, 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 blah. But you can see that some of these players have a little bit of something about them. And then De Zerbi came out, obviously, at the end, and he was saying, I don't want no crybabies. You know what I'm saying? I don't want no crybabies. Now, my question to the panel is, who's he talking about? Is he talking to us as fans? You don't want no crybabies. Like, if you're not up for the fight, don't bother coming to the stadium because I don't want to see you around. Or is he talking to certain players that have checked out? Is he talking to them to say, listen, I don't want no babies in the camp? Do you know what I mean? So with that being said, I'll caveat my own point because Marlon is right. We haven't seen a win in 2026. What are we doing there? Do you know what I mean? We have not seen a win. But I do see these players fighting a little bit more. Is that going to be enough? The floor is
my question to all of you lot, is it too little too late? And the reason why I'm asking is it too little too late? Leeds are fighting, West Ham are fighting, and so are Forest.
No, it's not too. It's not too late. It's not late until the fat lady sings, and the fat lady isn't singing. She's getting ready. She's definitely getting ready, and you have to look at like the small key moments of the game against Brighton. I think a lot of fans didn't expect Spurs to even win, and it was a case of right. But Spurs, like I said, they did fight, and it was a couple of individual mistakes that caused Nottingham Forest. But like I think if you're looking Wolves, Burnley, is looking at fixtures there. Spurs will play Aston Villa in the midst of Aston Villa having played Nottingham Forest in the Europa League, and then they play Nottingham Forest again in Europa League. So Aston Villa, being safe and all, might rest players because Umar might go. We're not going to get Champions League through this way, but if we get through to the finals, I think it's the finals, isn't it? If they're going to get through.
And the semis right now.
They're semis, yeah.
They're between them for us.
Yeah, so basically, Umareni can concentrate on that. Nottingham Forest can't afford to rest players. They can't. Aston Villa can. And it's just what happens.
Forest technically could, depending on how far behind we are.
Yeah, well, even at that, it's kind of like...
Will he take the risk, though?
Yeah, that's the thing, and it will have an impact. Leeds do have, before... I think Leeds played Chelsea before they played Spurs.
Don't mention Chelsea right now.
Yeah, right. So, and then Chelsea, you don't know what, Chelsea's all over the place. So, yes.
Leeds are pretty much safe.
We'll have to
we'll have to because of Man United's club.
So the beating Man United and obviously winning at the weekend. I think the thing that we've got to hope with Leeds is by the time they come to us that they are proper safe.
I think they will be then, because it's kind of like it's looking at the fixtures and thinking, right, somehow the outside gods, and even in that Spurs game, yes, it was a draw, but what happened was, like, Brighton, I think, remember the chance, it hit Van de Ven, hit off the post, hit off his ass, and just rolled along the line. Normally that goes in, but it doesn't. And when I saw that moment, I'm like, could it be those small little moments that just turn Spurs' way? And then Bentancur's back. Maddison was on the bench. Madison's
only there for vibes, by the way.
Yeah, but still, he's still back, and that's the thing. When those players on the bench, and then Bentancur was leading, so I think that yes, Spurs by their skin of the teeth will stay up, just about, and I think West Ham will be the one that will falter. They had a chance to beat Crystal Palace, but they cannot. You see, the thing is about lifting yourself. Like West Ham are in a position, yes, they're fighting, but Spurs technically have the better players than West Ham.
Yeah, but West Ham have been winning. So West Ham are on form. Mm-hmm. West Ham have been winning at home. Mm-hmm. They haven't been playing well away, but they've been winning at home. So tonight, to be honest with them, if I look to their form, I'd expect them to lose tonight, but win their next, because they've literally been good at home, and they kind of falter in the second half. So the problem Spurs have got right now is that West Ham are going to pick up at least another 3 points somewhere in the next 5 games.
Yeah, and Spurs will too. I personally think Spurs...
But it goes back to, where does people get this confidence when we haven't won a game in 2026?
Because it's what we're seeing on the pitch.
What are we seeing on the pitch?
We're seeing on the pitch, against Brighton.
We were like 3 minutes away from picking up 3 points.
Yeah. And against Sunderland,
you can't act like we haven't seen it. It's not like we were losing 2-1 and got an equalizer. We were winning, and because
against Sunderland as well, it wasn't like Spurs were.
And look at the goal Mukiele scored. Yeah, look at the goal Mukiele scored. Like it was the freak goal, and like how often does that happen to where that's how we lose? We pick up a point there.
Okay, yeah, but it seems to be happening us all season. It's not. This is
not
a one-off.
The thing.
This is the problem. Even but the difference is, we conceded at the weekend.
But the difference
this has been happening to us for the last 3 months.
The difference is that we've had managers that invite pressure onto you. Under De Zerbi, we don't necessarily invite pressure. We invoke pressure. In the last couple games, we've invoked pressure on other team. It's been freak accidents that has happened.
I mean, Matuma's goal,
especially Tudor. Like, come on, like Tudor's whole AO is his whole thing is inviting pressure from the opposition. Like we're actually going 2 games and trying to, like in that first half against Brighton, that's more attempts. Like we had more chances in that one half than we probably did under Tudor up for the entire time he was here. and I'm not even exaggerating. Like, when was the last time you look at that first half alone against Brighton and you think, wow, we've had that many, include Thomas Frank in this, by the way. How many times have we had a half of football where, like, damn, we had like 3 or 4 chances in one half to score a goal? It hasn't happened the whole season.
And we only scored 1. So we're not scoring. The front three is still.
Yeah, because I don't understand what he sees in Solanke. Personally, I don't understand what he sees.
It's not just Solanke.
I think it's what he sees.
It's all three. It's Moani as well.
Like,
and Richarlison's not seeing a minute, and he's our top goal scorer.
That's what I'm really, because Moani, I ain't gonna lie, Moani, I don't know what's football. So I know he's playing out of position, but he can't wait to leave this club, or he cannot wait to get out of this club. But the fact they don't play Richie is crazy.
I think it's basically setting up on what can these players provide as a team, because he's saying what these players need to be like a brothers, and that's why he hasn't started Tell, because Tell comes on and goes back to individualism. It needs to have, like, Solanke was doing his job. He wasn't getting a lot of service, but he was, making the Brighton defense kind of struggle a little bit. And he did aid the goal and stuff. So basically, it's like, even Conor Gallagher, his job was just to press, get up high at the pitch. And then obviously Bentancur, Basuma did what he normally does, plays well for like 20 minutes and then fades because he gets gassed. But like, yeah, it's kind of like West Ham getting the point means that Wolves are relegated, so they should have nothing to play for,
which is worse.
Well, yeah, it is worse, but I think it's these Spurs believe, these players have to believe that they're good enough, and it's kind of like, yes, that draw maybe felt like a loss, but they still showed that they are capable and they still have the better players. So you're talking about if Spurs, Zerbi said he believes, the important thing is he believes that Spurs can get points from all these next 5 games.
Yeah, he has to.
But that's the thing. It's only believing that, but he has to, because I've seen the training videos again, and he's doing exactly the same thing. Every training is exactly the same thing. He doesn't change it up. It's the same routines, the same thing to get these players at least used to each other. So I think that, like I said, it'll be very, very close. But I just think that Spurs will, 2 points. The thing is, though, what a lot of, even if Spurs stay up, it still doesn't change because there's still players who want to go. You know what I mean? And yeah, so if you just look at that, that's just, even Nottingham Forest, looking at Nottingham Forest, because they're in the Europa League as well. I mean, they've got tough games.
Forest have tough games.
Forest have got the toughest run of fixtures,
and
but they've given themselves enough of a cushion right now because Spurs at the moment. If I'm Forest, I'm looking at going, Spurs ain't winning a game. Spurs haven't won a game. There's nothing to say that we will win. And we're okay. Admittedly, there's a bit more faith going into Wolves because they're bottom. However, we haven't won at Molineux for how many years now? Molineux's not been the best place for us to travel.
I couldn't care less about form. Couldn't care less.
All right, can I ask a question? Nottingham Forest, can we go through each game? Because you've got Sunderland, Chelsea, Newcastle, Manchester United and Bournemouth. Can we identify where they're 3 points, where they're getting the wins? I just want to hear from the panel.
I would think be in Sunderland.
Yeah, given, because Sunderland played quite well
at home.
That's
a 0-0. That's a 0-0.
So they lost to Villa. Yeah, but listen. You're going to say that, but they lost to Aston Villa. They still lost. Yeah, I know they played well. They beat us, and their last 3 home games before us, they lost. So they're on the beach.
Yeah, but they're two. This is why I say.
They're both
two defensive teams.
Yeah, but Forest have got Gibbs White and Elliot Anderson right now that are doing bits for them.
Light food, bro. It's 0-0 draw.
Oh, so you got 0-0. You've got 3 points. What have you got, Aaron?
I got a draw, but I wouldn't be surprised if Sunderland beat them because again, I'm taking into account the fact that if Nottingham Forest decided to they can afford, like Marlon said, they can't afford to drop points and rest players for not Aston Villa.
Yeah. The week they play Chelsea is the one because that's going to be between the 2 games.
Yeah. So Chelsea, but it's Chelsea.
Yeah, and it's Liam Rossini right now.
But it's weird.
I'm not convinced of Nottingham.
All right, I'll tell you this: if Forest beat Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, we're beating Chelsea as well. I'll say that right now. If Chelsea are that bad to lose to Forest at home, we will beat Chelsea as well. I'll say that with chest, bro.
Newcastle can't seem to buy a win at the moment.
They're sitting 42 points.
Their performances have completely gone off the ball. You're hoping by the time they play Nottingham Forest, they picked up something, but they've got to play Arsenal this weekend. So that's probably 3 points they're not going to get. So that's another defeat. I don't know who Newcastle have got before that weekend, whether they've got a game or not. That's another question. So when they play Forest, they're not really on the best form.
But it's all to do with
and it's at the City Ground, and it depends whether, obviously, like you lot say, whether Forest get through against Villa or not.
They could be a Newcastle. Newcastle's weird because it's like they have quality players, but it's like they've just been inconsistent.
They've fallen off a cliff at the wrong time for us.
They've been inconsistent like the whole year in a way. So it's like you never know whether like a good player can just turn up for Newcastle and maybe they get something, but like
West's not got.
No.
Oh, because it hasn't got West Ham's last game, has it? West Ham and Leeds.
No, yeah.
Yeah, the Spurs not play Burnley as well. Spurs played Burnley twice.
We played Burnley twice.
We drew.
Aaron, look at the bottom. That's the bottom fixtures.
Yeah, I know. Sorry, I thought.
Yeah, we won on the first day of the season, innit? And then we drew away. Yeah.
So Forest. So there's 4. I think looking at those fixtures, Forest will pick up 4 more points.
Right.
4 more points. So you got 4 points for.
I got 4
Forest,
points.
Yeah? What about you, Aaron? How many points you got for Forest?
I would say 4 as well.
Yeah.
I do think that Europa League plays a big part in it, though. Actually, I'm trying to look at that. It's difficult.
It's scary.
Premiership is fucking difficult to predict.
Look, I will openly admit there's going to be one result. Like I'm looking at, there's going to be one result that we don't expect. Exactly like Leeds were on Monday against Manchester United.
I want to get Elijah's thoughts though on it, just on the Forest section before we go.
Loki, I think they get more than 4. You know, I actually Loki think they might be able to. I'm being serious because you want me to be honest now. You want me to be honest now, unless you want me to lie. I can lie if you want me to.
No.
Yeah,
real talk. It's real talk right now. Real talk.
I'm saying I can go for the clip if you want me to, but I think they probably get either 5 or 7. I think Newcastle I'm kind of iffy on, but I think they beat Bournemouth, and I think they draw against Sunderland. I think they lose against Chelsea and they lose against United. But Newcastle, I'm kind of iffy. Like they might be able to win that game. They might draw that game.
It just depends on Newcastle, doesn't it? It just depends on who Newcastle have after that Arsenal game and in between, whether they can change their form around.
Yeah, but if they pick up like 7 points out of that, I wouldn't be surprised at all.
I'm going for 3 points. There you go. I said it. 3 points.
3 draws or 1 win.
1 win.
Newcastle play Brighton after Arsenal at Stamford Bridge. At St James's Park.
So, they've Brighton.
And then Newcastle also play West Ham. They play Nottingham Forest and West Ham. They play
both. Yeah.
Nottingham Forest away and West Ham.
West Ham's there.
Yeah, so that's
all right.
Newcastle's going to be.
So it's looking like Brighton's for us at the moment with Newcastle.
Hey, what about West Ham now? Now we look at West Ham's fixtures. What are we saying with that, Marlon?
They've already got 1, right?
They already got a draw.
So forget that 6 points. Everton and Leeds at home. Those will be the 6 where they get the 2 wins.
Cool. 6 points.
So I think
so 4 for Nottingham Forest and 6 for West Ham.
Oh, and they'll draw against Brentford. 7. Sorry, they'll draw
4 and 7 for West Ham. Cool. Oren?
Yeah, I think this game for West Ham, yes, they might have played. I didn't watch it, but it seemed to me that fatigue will play a huge part. Everton are going well. Brentford are going well. Arsenal has to win, and Newcastle, well, if for Biffy. I think Everton will give it all because can Everton still get in Europa League next season?
Yes.
So they're going for that. That's going to be a high place. I know it's at home, but that's always going to be back and forth. And Everton are a big, strong, physical team. Brentford, they can also get Europa League. They're playing good too. Arsenal, they have to win, regardless. And Newcastle, we've talked about Newcastle. Depends what they're away. That's the St James's Park. So Newcastle might, show up, and then Leeds. depends on Leeds. Like Leeds are going to be, if they make it to the Leeds might be safe, so Leeds might just let a bye ball be a bye ball. So I could see that West Ham picking up possibly 3 points added to that Crystal Palace points. I just think that Everton, Brentford, Arsenal are, they're all have something to play for. If they didn't have anything to play for, yes, but they all, and it like increases in levels, because if Everton beat West Ham, then Brentford, will need to do it as well. And then Arsenal, like I said, Arsenal is a must-win game. Every game for Arsenal now is a must-win game.
So, how many points do you have for West Ham then?
4.
4 and 3. Is it 4 and 6 for Nottingham Forest?
Yeah.
And then Elijah, what are you saying?
Like 4 or 5 points, maybe, including Crystal Palace. I think Marlon's just too pessimistic, man.
What about what Marlon thinks? What do you think?
No. I'm worried about what Marlon thinks. He's right there, isn't I'm worried.
Marlon's. What do you think? Yeah.
I think Everton will have something for that ass. No pause, because we want West Ham to get ran through. I think Leeds, they might get maybe a point against Leeds. They got a point against Palace. If they're lucky, they might get something at Brentford. I just don't see them winning that many games, to be honest, man. I'll give them Leeds, because last game of the season, maybe Leeds are safe at that point because they've got some easy fixtures. So I'll say, though, if it comes down to the game week 38, they'll win their game, so they'll beat Leeds. They drew against Palace already. Maybe they'll get something against Newcastle or Everton, maybe, but nah, man. I think Everton go. Yeah, man, get them out of the way. So I'll give them like 4 or 5 points, something like that.
I'm gonna give them 6 points. I think I would be Everton and Leeds.
I think it'll be Everton. Yeah. Leeds. I think the 2 games they're gonna win. I think depending on how, because Brentford again have done exactly what they normally do towards the end of the season and started to fall off. So they might get a point there. I don't think they'll beat Brentford. I think it'll be like how Brentford played at the weekend, where it's just a boring, dull 0-0. And then West Ham will take it. It'd be a bit like tonight. I can see the game being very much like it was tonight for them against Brentford.
Cool. And then we've obviously got Tottenham. Get involved in the chat as well. Big up the chat. Get involved. I want to see your predictions. Tottenham Hotspur, we play Wolves, Aston Villa, Leeds, Chelsea, and Everton will be the last game of the season. And a lot of you said that, these other teams are gonna, West Ham are gonna beat Everton. So can we get that result as well? But yeah, what's the predictions, man? What are you saying, man? Marlon.
So if my predictions are correct, we're gonna need a minimum of 3 wins at least. Now, Wolves on Saturday, if they don't get 3 points, there's not going to be. It doesn't matter what they do afterwards. They have to win. They got no choice. They need to win. Okay, as in just to give them a chance, not even to even survive. This is just to give us a chance. Now, for me, if they lose, I'll do 2 predictions on this. If they lose to Wolves on Saturday, they will lose to Villa. They will draw at home to Leeds. We'll lose at Chelsea, and we'll probably win the last Premier League game at Everton. If they beat Wolves, they will beat Villa, and they'll beat Leeds.
So we stay up.
Chelsea
so
game.
You're all dependent on if you beat Wolves.
If we beat Wolves, I think they'll beat Villa, sorry, and somehow they'll get a win against Leeds. Chelsea, I still think we'll lose. I don't see us winning that game.
All right.
And then it will come down to the last day of the season, where survival.
Yeah. All right. What do you reckon?
I agree with Marlon. Have to beat Wolves. They'll beat Aston Villa, Leeds. Chelsea, I think they'll get a draw against Chelsea. Depends. I would normally think, Chelsea will rise their game, but they don't have those players anymore. They don't have a manager who care about Stamford Bridge or, they don't. I know. Like, if you look at the previous manager, they installed that belief in them. But Chelsea,
It's not. I think so just on that. I don't think it's got anything to do with the managers. It's to do with the club. Whenever it's the culture of the club, and when a week before they play Tottenham, no matter who the manager is, no matter who it is, they just go, "This is a game we just don't lose."
But like,
and that's exactly why they end up beating us all the time. It doesn't matter who like every manager's come there, no matter what form they've been in, and that's why we've only beat Conte there.
And winning against Everton, I think Chelsea will get Spurs get a draw. I can, if Spurs lose against Wolves, that's it. There's nothing no matter what they do, even if they win the next 4 games, doesn't matter. Because I don't think it'll happen. I think if they lose against Wolves, that's the signs that players are done.
They can't even.
They have to win.
That is how bad the situation.
They have to win.
They have to win because De Zerbi is correct. They need 1 win.
They have to win. And again, it's all laid out. Hopefully, Spurs can get the first goal. But yeah, I think they go ahead and beat Aston Villa because I think Aston Villa might rest players. Leeds safe enough. They might just be on the wind down. Chelsea, I think, yes, it'll be passionate. I think Spurs will get a draw. And then Everton, I think, last day home could be kind of a celebration victory if Spurs are safe. But I do think that Spurs will be safe. And it'll be between... I actually do think it's between West Ham and Spurs. Forget Nottingham Forest, forget Leeds. It's between West Ham and Spurs. That's it. No point trying to catch Nottingham Forest. If they slip up, they slip up. But the team above Spurs, West Ham, 2 points, that's a challenge. Try and just get a win. Hopefully West Ham could get a draw. Even if Spurs get a win and West Ham get a draw against Everton, Spurs will still be what? They'll be level in points? Will they be level in points? Or will they be 1 point ahead?
1 point ahead.
Weapons.
Crazy.
Yeah.
We will play before them, so we'll be 1 point ahead of them if we win.
Right. So if they draw against Everton, it'll be level in points.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Spurs will still be above them.
On goal difference, yeah.
Yeah. So
goal difference. Yeah.
If that happens, then at least Spurs have an incentive to not lose and just keep above them as best as they possibly can. It'll be topsy-turvy.
Sorry, Elijah, man.
Hey, Marlon, what number Messi wear, bro?
You think we're gonna get 10 points?
10 points, mate. Yeah, the GOAT 10 for a reason, bro.
Oh, the other way around, bro, because that says 1 on the screen.
Is it? Yeah. There you go, bro.
I know what he was doing.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. Number 1, 10, whatever you want to call it, bro. We'll be number 1 in points. How about that? Well, hey, Wolves, we got something for them. Leeds, we got something for them. I can't lie, Everton, we got something for them too, innit? That's 9 points right there. Chelsea are so bad, bro. But I think we'll lose to Chelsea. I think Villa, we got something for them.
Because Chelsea depends if it goes midweek or not as well. Because if they get to the semi-final, then
but look, I'm not scared of Villa. I'm not scared of no Villa.
It's just going to be a killer.
I'm not scared of no Villa.
Oh yeah, Chelsea play Leeds, don't they, in the FA Cup?
Is it this week and this next weekend? This weekend coming.
Got something for Villa, man. They're focused more on Europa League this time. We know how Emery is, man. Now Emery's like this every year, and people want to put on blindfolds for I don't know why. Because whenever they're in the European competition, Emery focuses on that because he can't win the league. It happens every year, and people act like it don't happen. Like Aston Villa been wishy-washy for reasons because they're focusing on the Europa League, bro. Like
weren't they wishy-washy last year? And then they beat us.
Man, that's a different manager, bro. Different manager. We're not worried about all this form nonsense, bro. People want to talk about last year and 2 years ago. I'm not worried about that, man. Listen, this is a Villa team that are inconsistent. Going to be resting players for the Europa League. We gonna have something for them, bro. We ain't got nothing to play for. We got Wolves will get out the way. God willing, I'm putting my neck on the line here. Yeah? People say I don't commit to takes. I'm committed to takes here because if we get relegated, I'm gone anyway. So fuck it. I'll be wrong in it. Right, Wolves, we got something for them. Villa, we got something for them. I think we'll draw that game. Leeds, we got something for them. Everton, we got something for them too, fam. You know what I'm saying? Chelsea, I'm kind of just hoping on Chelsea because Chelsea is just that bad. Like I've gone out my way to watch Chelsea because one of my friends supports Chelsea. Boy, they're so bad. It's not even funny how dead Chelsea are. But
But you know what this reminds me of? That you remember the season we were with Leicester, and they were so bad that season.
And
But they turned up for one
of
game.
course, that's how it always goes, isn't it? But I'm not looking at
Got
form.
a draw with that one game.
Yeah, I'm not looking at form because
Yeah,
that
that's
PE
what they needed.
teacher they got,
Yeah.
bro, they might have a substitute PE teacher as a manager. Yeah,
But that's the thing. Yeah, I get the whole Chelsea philosophy, but if you look at those players, you know, yeah, they're just not. They're just not like, it's not an Eden Hazard. It's not a John Terry who's in the dressing room going, lads, we beat these, you know, we're going to have to prevent that. It's not like, you know, it's not experienced players. These players have checked out, they're gone. And if they, especially if they beat Leeds under the FA Cup final, I think even more so.
Honestly, I'm looking at this. I'm looking at this team here. Sorry, Ash, but like when the ball goes up front, they've got, if they go to the wing, they've got Pedro Neto and Garnacho. And then if they play along, they've got Liam Delap. Like, I don't know, bro. I'm on the media, and plus that brother as a manager. Nah, man, I'm not here.
I think he's just there to fill the time until he gets
sacked. He's just there for now. Yeah, he's gone in the summer. But like, while he's here, 3 points, please, man. Hey, look, I'm sorry. I've never been more confident playing a Chelsea team in my life. I don't care about.
No, I hear it, but there could be a situation where if Chelsea win, they send us down. Now, is that motivation in itself? Because I remember when we had the Battle of the Bridge and they had to stop us. I know it was different players, like Oren was saying, but their motivation was to stop us winning the league. So I've heard a lot of their fans getting giddy. We could be sending Spurs down. Like, this would be better than a cup. I would take that over winning. Someone said they would take us going down and them being the team to send us down over an FA Cup. And I said, wow, that is wild. That's a high.
Yeah, of course, though, because they're a team that wins trophies.
Now I was gonna say that.
Now, if you ask an Arsenal fan, would they take relegating us over the league? Completely different.
No, of course. But I'm just saying the motivation. We're not playing Arsenal in the run-up. We're playing Chelsea.
I know, but
they've got extra motivation in that sense where they're like, wow.
The fans do.
You can have all the motivation in the world, bro. Like, we've seen this from this Tottenham team as well. You can have all the desire that you want, but if you can't pass a football, if you can't control a ball, if you can't move into space, if you can't play a line in defense, but it don't matter how much desire you have, man. Like, I mean, this Tottenham team is a prime example. That man got they got a construction worker up front.
No, like, was not for them. The lap was.
No, it's.
I didn't even realize Chelsea haven't won a home game. Chelsea haven't even won a game since March, beginning of March, and that was Villa.
They'll probably have. Estavo will probably be back by then. I don't know if he's injured or what. I've got a feeling he might be back.
But he's gonna hold bench for Garnacho. That's Liam, bro. Liam's the manager.
Neto will play over Garnacho.
They want to get
ready.
The truth is,
Spurs. Hopefully the Spurs players, the coaching staff go, right, next 3 games, get wins. So the Chelsea game, it's obsolete. The last 2 games should be obsolete in a way. I'm not saying they're not going to go for winning them, but if Spurs can get the 3 wins, that's what takes them to 9 points. That means that Chelsea, and like, I get what fans are saying, but they're if you ask a real Chelsea fan, they're like, we don't give a fuck. We don't care. You know, it's
I think that if you ask a real Chelsea
I think it's a care. Yes, what I mean, it's a care for, but it's like, I think they're saying the same thing because let's be honest, it was Spurs fans who started this Mickey Mouse shit. When we don't want Spurs to beat Man City because they started that. Before that was before that, no one ever said this Mickey Mouse shit. No one ever said it. But Spurs fans decided to let's set the bar and embarrass the whole club, embarrass the fan base by going, we don't want, we want to lose against Man City.
Facts,
that to me was like, I think that's...
Wait, what's that got to do with Chelsea? What's that got to do with Chelsea?
What's that going to do with Chelsea?
It's almost like they're doing it to spite us.
What I'm saying is those fans are saying that because Spurs fans did that. Because I've seen the Instagram post, and every time Spurs lose, they'll say this is revenge for Spurs losing against Man City on purpose.
Yeah, I get it all the time.
So the fans of Chelsea are saying the same thing because Spurs fans said it.
Yeah, but that doesn't make sense because the reason why we were saying that at the time, we were purposely losing against another team where Chelsea
Beat
want
us.
to come and beat us.
Yes,
because
I
they wanna
get
relegate us.
that. But
They have
it's
the
still
choice.
the same
It's
principle.
not. It's
still the same
completely
principles.
different.
It's the same, like, right, Spurs fans wanted Spurs to lose. They wanted their own team to lose.
Yeah, but that wasn't against Arsenal. If that was a case of Chelsea want to actually beat us. Chelsea have a chance to
a rival
dictate
as well.
what they want to do.
Yes, but
A rival wants to do it. But what we did,
Man City are our
what we
rival.
did was completely
I'm saying
different.
the mentality. It's the fans. It's the same fans. But like, what I'm trying to say is, it's not like a case of when you have fans who want to lose purposely against another team, it creates another. It's Mickey Mouse schoolyard shit, which get fans to say schoolyard shit of, we would rather win a cup. We'd rather send Spurs down than win a cup. That's what they mean.
You
So
guys
that's
are
what I'm
trying to
saying.
make,
But it
like,
doesn't
it's not
matter.
logical.
It doesn't matter because the fans don't play the football.
Yeah, but for them, but for Chelsea, I think in hindsight, they're also looking at it going, they don't want Liam Rossini being there, because if he wins a cup, he stays there longer as well.
Yeah, but it's
So
Chelsea.
a lot of them are thinking for long term.
Those players should know. It doesn't matter if you win the cup.
But
We'll get
they
sacked
can
anyway.
do both. They can do both.
He can do both.
That doesn't stop them relegating us. Like,
But
it's like,
that's the thing.
They're not going to, though. They're not
where
going to.
Arsenal's different. We could actually stop Arsenal from winning the league. That's the reason why.
But no, that didn't stop. Like, we're getting off track here. The fact of the matter is, the next 3 games Spurs have to win. Yes, you know what I mean. I was just using an example. I was just saying why.
Yeah, but it's a bad example. It's a bad example because the reason why it's a bad example is because we lost. Okay, we went on to lose that game. We missed out on Champions League. But what happened 12 months later?
Yes, I know.
24 months
what I'm
later,
trying to say the mentality, because fans who think that.
Yeah, but that's because they sat down, isn't it?
I'm just saying it's the mentality.
No, I understand what you're saying.
It's just the mentality.
Yeah,
I'm thinking, like.
Yeah, but it's not. That's a football rivalry, though. That it doesn't matter what you kind of. This is what I don't get from people is, if it wasn't for football rivalry and that what you say schoolyard crap, the Premier League wouldn't be the most watched thing in the world. Look how many people are joyous that are not Spurs fans, are joyous because Arsenal are not winning.
Yeah,
Arsenal's a special case, though. They're special.
Yeah,
case.
yeah. And the thing is, again,
no, it's not. It's not. No. But if you're going by what Oren's saying, it shouldn't.
No. Again, we're looking. As I said before. What I'm trying to say is that, yes, I understand that, but why people watch the Premiership is because they get to see an exciting league. And the Twitter fans who are the age between.
No, but people.
Yes, I know. Yes, but rivalry is part of it, and but it's based on, like, a lot of Twitter fans, who are like just writing schoolyard stuff.
But it's not just no.
But you're missing the point. It's the rivalry. I get the rivalry, but the rivalry. Yes, it's there. But that's not the reason why a lot of fans watch football or the Premiership. For us, for Spurs, Arsenal, the rivalry is there. Yes, of course. But anyone who doesn't support Spurs or Arsenal, they'll watch the game and just see an exciting game.
Liverpool, they got rivalry. Like, a
lot of people. But we're not. We're giving you the straight.
No, yes, I'm not saying yes. There's rivalry. Yes, of course, rivalry. But what I'm not talking about rivalry. I'm talking about this the silly things that people tweet to get people annoyed and agitated. That's what I'm talking about. Yes, of course, rivalry is important. Rivalries like Real Madrid, Barcelona, rivalry is a big part. What I'm saying is, when it comes to mature fans, we understand rivalry. Yeah. But the people on Twitter or X or Instagram.
So I heard recently, and this is going to what you're saying, rivalry, that if Celtic had a chance to let Hearts win the league in Scotland, they'll do it.
Yeah, but that's basically, that's what I mean. That's journalism. That's journalism. Rivalry. That's not coming directly from Celtic. That's not coming directly from Hearts. That's social media journalists.
Trust me, it's coming from it's not coming just from social media. This is what I'm saying.
Yes, but it's the same thing. It's like a lot of this is, that's what I'm saying, football.
And some of it's on TV.
Yes, because it's social media journalists who think, what can I do to create drama, create controversy? Let's say this.
So
because that's what it's all about.
Before social media, is that what you're saying?
So what's what?
Did this never exist before social media? Is that what you're getting at as
The
well?
rivalries always existed. We
No,
always
no,
knew
not
that.
the rivalry,
Yes,
but I
yes.
mean,
But the gossip, the making stuff up, there's a training room bust up that never happens. It's all done by. We have to take into account that social media now plays a massive, massive part in football. Some journalists will post some shit, some pages will share it, and fans get upset. Ramiro wants to leave. Xavi wants to leave. Van de Ven's wants to leave. If it came out tomorrow that the reason why Frank and the players didn't get on was because Mickey Van de Ven had sex with his wife, there's enough people who probably believe it. You know what I mean? Because it wants to. It creates controversy. They're just making stuff up. So yes, I'm not saying that rivalry isn't there, but I'm saying that when it comes to banter and, edging people on, that's when it comes into, because let's think about it. Like when Spurs did what they did, when the fans section of the crowd did what they did at home, it was embarrassing. I've never seen that before as a Spurs fan or a football fan.
I don't know. When I was growing up, there used to be a big section of fans, that didn't like Man United. And if you supported Man United, you were called a glory hunter. And that was because they won all the time. And that was before social media. Do you understand? So that's
Yes, I know.
Yeah, everyone hates the most successful club.
Yes,
but that's why I say Arsenal is
sure.
Apart from City.
So Chelsea bought the league.
But that's why I say Arsenal are a special group in it. That's why I say don't use Arsenal, because Arsenal have the biggest presence online, and Arsenal fans. But people hate Arsenal because of the fans, not even because we hate Arsenal like the club and the fans. People who aren't rivals of Arsenal just hate the fans, so that's why they love Arsenal's downfall.
But they're just finding out the reason why we hate Arsenal. Okay, because we knew this before social media. All it's done is highlight to everyone else. Go
for sure. But for sure. But that's why I say Arsenal is the fans specifically. I've always I've always maintained in terms of all the London clubs, Tottenham's the only one who does rivalries properly, because all the other London clubs, the big London clubs in the Prem, they all love off each other and do all that stuff. And we're the only team that does rivalries properly, and that's why everyone really hates us. Because so many clubs are relishing this, bro. They want us to go down because they don't like us, as because we're the only team where it's we actually do rivalries.
I'll tell you what the reason is. So you're right about the London clubs, but the reason why a lot of the teams outside London are going against us this time is because when you actually talk to them, they always say it's because our Spurs fans think we're bigger than what we are. We talk down to a lot of the clubs outside of London.
The Big Six cartel thing. They think we're special because we got that financial clout.
Yeah, we think we're special, and that's the reason why they want us to go down.
Fair. I didn't know. Fair.
Yeah, I've also I've actually surprised because I've actually seen because I'm mostly on Instagram, and when Spurs draw or whatever and Spurs going down, I've actually seen Arsenal fans saying, "I'm an Arsenal fan. I don't want Spurs to go down because it will take away the rivalry. I hope Spurs don't go down."
Takes away the
reason. Whatever it is. But I think when it comes to there's two different types of fan base. There's the fan base who are just young teenagers who will say silly shit, and then there's a mature fans who look at it and go, because even Arsenal fans have been saying, if again this is around Instagram, it's we have to feel for Spurs because Spurs have so many players injured. If we
what does that mean, mature fans? I don't understand. What does
as in
mean?
Grown up adults who
adults,
not immature.
You just said you read it on Instagram, but that's social media. You said you just read it on Instagram, but you were sitting there dismissing X. You said social media.
No, I'm not dismissing X. I'm saying it happens on X because you guys are an X, and I'm not an X because X is far different than Instagram.
But it's not just X that we're reading this on. We'll listen to radio stations.
What radio station?
Talk Sports. We'll watch Sky Sports.
Talk Sports has Jamie O'Hara on it. Yeah, that's enough. That's all you should say.
But I've not just mentioned Talk Sport. I've mentioned BBC 5 Live.
And I've explained that. I've explained that. It's all
okay. So it's not just.
It's all just basically propaganda and gossip. That's all it is. That's what it's become.
Yeah, but it's always been like that because if it wasn't social media, it used to be from the newspapers, and it's always been that way. It's never going to change.
Yeah. So, but I'm just saying this is the way it is. It's why has it become a big issue? No, I'm just saying why these fans are saying this is because of this. That's it. It's I get, and I'm just saying that social media, when it comes to social media and things like that, fans, keyboard warriors, and they like to gossip and create drama and everything else. That's why I don't go on X, because I read some of the things and it's like, flip me, just get off it.
I was literally watching, like, this was like a couple weeks ago. I was watching a panel show, right? I was only there for like 2 minutes. I just happened to click on it, and it had like Real Madrid fans. It was like a Champions League panel, and it said Real Madrid and Bayern Munich, and they were talking about how much they want Spurs to get relegated. I'm like, why do you care? I'm like, this is what I'm saying. Like, I really think like we're the most bantered club, we're the most hated club in the world, apart from Arsenal. Because I'm like, that why does a Bayern Munich fan?
I don't think we're hated. Yeah, I don't think we're hated. I think it's because we're easily bantered, and obviously, it's always going to be that Spursy tag that's going to follow us
Which is fair,
around.
but it's like, damn, like, why does a PSG fan want us relegated? Like, why do you care? Like, I'm sorry, these man, it's getting ridiculous, man. It's actually getting ridiculous.
Yeah, but it's probably, you got to remember they're from London.
They're not.
So,
they live in other
like
countries. That's what I'm saying. Like, why do they care, bro? Like,
the thing is, it's like,
because most of them will be closet gooners.
The thing is as well.
They are. That's insane.
Yeah, the thing is, well, Agile, it's not. They can only answer questions that's been asked. So basically, why is that question even asked if it's not even the do? If you're talking about Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Champions League, why are they even asking about Spurs? But that's what I'm saying. Because if you ask about Spurs, it's great little. Let's cut the clips, put it on YouTube, put it on all the social medias, put a little tagline in, and get people biting. That's what it's all about. It's about biting. We live in a world of clout and biting and clickbait.
I hear you. Because I don't know how it had started, because I literally clicked on and they were talking about it. I'm like, why? Like, it's a Champions League show. Why do you care about us? Like, why?
I think personally, like, I don't know, where I am in London, and it depends where you live in it. Like, I play a lot of football, so I'm around like other clubs in it, and for them, it would be funny if Spurs went down to the Championship. It would just be funny. You understand? It's the same like if Chelsea were to get relegated. Like, I'm pretty sure this whole panel will be laughing. Well, I remember I went out Saturday night. I went out Saturday night, and as I was coming home, I went to stop by a shop here, and everyone inside were talking. Like, there was Chelsea fans talking, Man United fans talking, and they were arguing. Oh, you're shit. No, you're shit. Blah blah blah. You're rubbish. And then they all turned around and said, well, at least it's not Tottenham. And they all started laughing.
You see what I'm saying? Like,
I'm like, bro, like, it depends where you are and who you're around, you understand? If you're in a rural place, you don't really mix with no one, or you go to your workplace and they don't really talk about football like that, it's not like the culture inside the workplace, then, like, yeah, you're not really going to, you don't have to hear it. You don't have to surround yourself around it. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to go on any social media. And then you, like, ignorance is bliss. You think like, oh, this only exists on social media platforms. When in real life, like, people talk about this and it's funny. Like, it's real talk. Newcastle getting relegated isn't funny because they've been relegated. West Ham have been relegated all the time. Aston Villa have been relegated before. So those
Villa want us to go. Yeah, Villa want us to go down because they've been relegated and they were one of the big clubs and they want us to like following our footsteps.
And then they can have that chat with us and they think we're the same level. So it's like different motives for different clubs. You get it? It's not. I don't think it's just a social media situation, bro.
But what I'm saying is, it's not Aston Villa, the club, saying this. It's their fans saying this. We have to separate the two here, because these fans are just banter, and fans. It's not like Aston Villa is saying to their fans, right? I want you to go and have a chat with Man United fans. And then Man United, the club, goes to their fans, right? I'm talking about, yes, of course, fans are just going to bicker and banter your shit, because every fan today is an expert on how to play games or what they should do, which is nothing bad about that. But yes, in a way, it's always been that way. You know, Spurs, no one cared about Spurs until they start becoming something that they are now. Then people start saying butlers. And even Arsenal fans will call Spurs butlers, even though they've bottled more times than Spurs has in the last 7 years or whatever.
They don't want to see the team. Obviously, we know why Arsenal get onto us in it, but other clubs, they don't want to see this team like be successful in it. They're used to like having that conversation with either your Chelsea's or not even Chelsea's. Before that, it was just Arsenal, Man United, and Liverpool. There wasn't really anyone else in the conversation. And obviously, Chelsea got the money. They kind of wormed their way in, and then around the same time, we were floating around the same time, innit? And they didn't like the fact that we kept coming into the conversation. They're like, "Raw, why are these guys keep coming up into this top four?" You know, that's why they had to change the race. They had to change it from the big four to the big six. Do you get it? Because of
I
Spurs.
kind of want to lose that tag, man. I want to lose that tag. I just want to go back to
Too much
like
pressure. You reckon too?
you know what it is. No, you know what it is. Yeah, you know what it is. Well, I'm being honest, yeah, because now I think we've got past the trolling stage. I think it's time to like be honest in it. Tottenham have always been like since like our best time was when like we was developing players and we're focusing on the coaching and developing players into what they are. And ever since we lost the Champions League final, yeah, we've kind of pursued a trophy so much that we've abandoned everything that makes Tottenham Tottenham in a way. Not to get into the whole heritage talks and all that, because I know like Tottenham was all attacking football from the 60s. It's like let the 60s go, bro. Like that whole generation's go be gone in 20 years. But like the whole premise of it is we were like at our best, at least in my like lifetime, when we were like developing players and we had a coach, and it's because I think Spurs fans, I can't speak for other fans, but Spurs fans want to win a trophy every year. And it's like, we can't do that. Like, we're not a club that does that. We've never been a club that does that. And I don't think
the squad depth for that.
We don't have the squad depth. I don't think we're going to be that type of club anytime soon, innit? I'd rather just focus on us being stable, at least. Even whether that's stable, like we're stable and like mid-table, then we start moving up slowly and getting back to order. I'd rather do that.
That was supposed to be it.
That was supposed to be it under Thomas Frank. But the thing is, like, if you've had like 5 years of abandoning everything that was stable about the club to try and pursue a trophy, because we keep talking about like the manager situation, we go from attacking to defensive, and then the players and everything and the turnaround and all that kind of stuff. If you spent like 5 years or so abandoning all the stability that made us get to that point in the first place, you can't just throw a stable manager or a stability kind of manager at it and everything just kind of levels out, which is why I give Thomas Frank a little bit of like a reprieve.
But the problem you've got is this problem you got, and I don't know if I'll be sticking up for Levy or not, but at some point they've got to have some sort of ambition, and they had ambition, and their ambition was to always be to competing for the trophies and make Champions League. Now, they got to the point where they were making Champions League, but everyone was throwing the stick at us that we hadn't won anything. And you say that Spurs weren't a club that won anything, but before Enoch took over, Tottenham were averaging 2 or 3 trophies every 10 years.
Yeah, but even 2 or 3 trophies every 10 years is not that much.
But they weren't
realistically.
But we went from that,
which is fair. But the way I look at it is now I would ask Tottenham fans, was the Europa League worth all of this? Because in order to get that Europa League, we had to abandon all the stability that made us what we were. And then we got the Europa League, which is cool. But now look where we are.
But we didn't. What had happened was, and this is the bit that everyone is misguided by, is that Tottenham were always told Tottenham wanted to do things on the cheap.
Yeah.
And they went for the data model. Okay. The problem was, if you actually look at it and deep it, the data model that they were looking at, yes, it was working, but it ended up giving them players of all the same caliber. Like, we have so many runners in the team that we forgot about the technical ability of a player, and that's the reason why we're in the mess that we're in. And that's why people had always said, when Harry Kane and Son leaves, we were going to be in a relegation battle, because if you actually look at it and look at the data and some of the players we brought in, Kane and Son wouldn't make it come to Tottenham now. They wouldn't be anywhere near it, because the way that Lange and them are reading the data is completely against, and this is what David Pleat said. You can bring as much, and this is why he got fired. You can bring as much data in as you want, but sometimes you need that technical ability, and you need that player that's going to come in and not be a runner. This is why we've got Conor Gallagher.
But for me, quickly, I think the problem is they looked at the wrong metrics, because you can use data. You can use data to find someone that has a higher. Remember, we've got Romero. I think he was our highest pass completer or our most progressive passer, and he was like 9th in the league. And then after that, it was like Van der Ven, who was like 57th, and then the rest of the players were in like 200s or 400s. Do you know what I'm saying? In terms of like passing, and passing is a massive part of progressing the ball, keeping your team up top, keeping possession, and sustaining attacks and being creative. Do you know what I mean?
Which is true, but like, when did that start? The signing or the lack of signing of technical players That's all happened in the last 6 year stretch though, which
when
which
they
is
started
which is
looking at
after
data.
2019 UCL final, which is that's the time period I'm referencing though. So like everything that made
But it was probably
I'm not
happening
saying
before that.
it wasn't, but there
that we
were
had
some
Poch.
at least attempts at technical signings back then, and some of them didn't pan out. But like the whole point
Yeah,
is that
Hitchin
that's
was
like
Hitchin was
even
in charge then, no? Hitchin was in charge about 2019, no? Or was he not?
Yeah, he was. He was. He would have been
Around
around
that
that time.
time.
Yeah.
Was
But-
he data led? I don't think he was he? Was he?
no idea.
He was partly. He was data led. He was data led. It was Pleat that
Okay.
wasn't.
That's fair. Okay.
So that there was the mix. Pleat wasn't the data
I don't
led
really
guy.
know too
Hitchin
much
was.
about that aspect. But like the whole thing is like for me, like growing up, like going through it, ever since the Champions League final, because that's like the apex that I've seen for Tottenham, innit? Ever since then, like even the transfer, what you talk about, the transfer policy or the way we approach things or the managers we get or the signings we try, all of that stuff, it feels like it changed from then because it's like, oh my God, we made it to the pinnacle of club football and we lost. We have no trophy. And everything has kind of shifted since then. And everything that made Tottenham under at least the Poch era, which is when I started supporting Spurs, just before the Poch era, we haven't done any of that for the last 6 years. And it's kind of turned into this. And
yeah, because Danny Levy tried to cheat the system and bring in Jose Mourinho.
Which is
like if you look, which is always going to, but that a lot of that was put down to pressure of what.
But that's why I say winning a trophy is not always worth it. Like look at me, like I never seen Tottenham win a trophy. I don't count 2008 because I was 5 when we won it, kind of 6. So I don't count that. But I never seen Tottenham win a trophy. Last year was the first time I seen it. But at the same time,
and you enjoyed it.
I had to clock into work the next day. I didn't enjoy it. But the whole premise of it is it's not worth this. Like it's not worth 33 weeks into the season. We're talking about we're gonna go down and we have to have something for.
Okay, but if I said to you then, okay, let's go back to last year where we did finish 17th and we were terrible and we're probably doing exactly what we're doing this year. Did you not have that slight enjoyment because the season was so crap that you won something at the end of it anyway?
But like it ends up being like a neutral season for me because when you're that bad, because we were in a relegation fight, but then we won three straight and then we weren't in it no more. But like to be that bad, like you have to do now. But when it comes to being that bad to where it's like the season beats you down over time, especially like we got to the quarterfinal or the semi-final of the Carabao. We lost in the first FA Cup round, to be fair. And then we had a whole Europa League run. And then we had 38 games in the Premier League. So it's not like we just had the Europa League and we had the Premier League. We were losing, like, every couple of weeks, we was losing a game. Like, we were dropping points all the time. And it kind of just wears you down over the seasons where we don't even want to watch. So winning the Europa League was enjoyment. But, like, considering you're down here and you win the Europa League, it kind of brings you back up to neutral. Now we're just in a relegation fight. So you're just down here already and there's nothing to really save.
But does this not go down to the quote that Daniel Levy spewed out at the beginning of the season where they were saying that they wanted to compete on all fronts, but they've never given Spurs a squad to compete on all fronts? And what's happened in these last 2 years that's probably hasn't happened since probably Darren Anderton days? Injuries.
Yes.
We've had way more injuries in the last couple of years than
I
we've
agree.
ever had.
And to be honest, this season alone, if we're going to look at this in like a vacuum of this season, the reason we're in this position is because of the injuries. I'm take Thomas Frank out of it, take the managers out of it. I put it solely down to injuries. But the problem is that now I'm looking at the regime, because remember I highlighted the regime. January comes along, and what do they do? They sell only right winger. It happens to be only right winger because Kudus gets injured right after. And then we sign a Brazilian 19-year-old and we sign Conor Gallagher, and that's it.
What's happened to him?
You know what I'm saying? So I don't,
PR, innit?
no idea, to be honest. But like that's why I say like all the things that made us stable, all the regimes, all that stuff, that's all been gone because then all this is happening. Players are getting injured, and then we go into January and we bring in 2 players and get rid of a right winger. It turns out now we don't have a right winger because we sold Brennan Johnson. So the regime and all the things and all the stable.
Brennan Johnson, would you have kept him?
I mean, we would have had to. I mean, I don't rate Brennan Johnson like that, but we don't have a right wing, and I prefer him over Colin Warney because at least he could shoot. But that's the thing that it comes down to is that, remember, we had gone 18 months without a signing under Poch, and the only reason we were still doing well is because of the regime, the regime that they had for its faults. It was the
It was the
like
core that
the players that we already had, the manager we already had, and for all its faults, I'm not saying it didn't have its faults, but at least the regime was stable enough to where we were a stable club in the Premier League regardless, and we don't have any of that type of stability now.
I think, but I think like people, if you actually go back to those 18 months, I think that's the reason why we're kind of in this mess now, because we've been playing catch up ever since.
And that's fair, and that's fair. But I do think that where we've gone post the UCL final has just spiraled it, because as you said, without Kane and Son, they were keeping us afloat, and
Kane was definitely keeping us afloat.
Kane and Son was definitely keeping us afloat 100%. But it's been individual quality from certain players that's kind of kept us afloat, and now we don't have those players. We see where we are. But I think if we were able to if we still had the same regime, I'm not saying we would have like won trophies or anything like that, but at least we'd be a stable club in the Prem.
I think the two injuries that have had them, I don't know if anyone agrees, there's two injuries that really killed us over the last 2 years will be Maddison and Kulusevski.
For sure.
Yeah. Because those were the players, those two, more like with Kulusevski, he weren't really that guy that could change the game, but he kept the ball.
Yeah.
He knew how to keep the ball. Where Maddison is he's what Xavi did on the weekend. He's that player that can just all of a sudden can open it up. We just don't have it. But them two getting injured was probably the one thing that's losing your two players.
I also think it's a slide.
Give us.
I think a slide nominee also is Bentancur. I think Bentancur.
Whenever he gets injured,
you know what it is. Just seeing Bentancur against Brighton. He was able to keep the ball and just recycle it. And how many? Ever since Bentancur went down, how many times have we complained as a fan base that there's no midfield? The midfield, they boot it up top to whoever's up top, and the midfield just gets bypassed by everyone. At least I think Bentancur that he's able to.
Do you think that is a cause and symptom of the coaches that we've had before? Because we've had Thomas Frank, who didn't want to risk it in the middle, a bit like what we saw with Arsenal and Arteta. He sometimes, when they're in possession, they wanted to play down the sides, innit? Spurs are very much similar, where we didn't want to play through the middle because if we lose the ball will turn over and that will create a big chance. And under Ange, we conceded a lot of turnovers, counterattacks, sorry. So maybe is that the reason why Bentancur looked poor, and now under an attacking manager where we've got the ball and he wants to, have a bit more possession, you're seeing a little, upturn, some green shoots in Bentancur. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I think it's that.
Maybe that's the reason.
Yeah, I think that, and also, but like I was never a fan of Pellegrini and Bentancur because I understand the stability of it, but I just preferred if you're gonna play Pellegrini, don't play Bentancur and vice versa, because I think Bentancur, his best role, especially. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Under a different manager, though, do you think you can see different results? Because as
ironically, now that we have Gallagher to do a lot of the heavy running, I think you might be able to see something a bit better out of them. Because Pellegrini, he can run, but he's slow and he's not mobile. He's not agile, sorry. So like he's more of like a tank running. Whereas like even though I'm not the biggest Gallagher fan, I think that the reason why Pellegrini and Bentancur didn't work as well is because they had endurance, but they didn't have a lot of like running.
They need that Maddison.
And even like with Xavi Simons, it's like it's not the same. It's not the same. Like Gallagher's engine will be able to pick up a lot for them doing that. They can be a bit more like refined, especially Bentancur, because post the injuries that he's had, he just doesn't have the same running power and the running speed and all that kind of stuff. He's a bit more particular.
Do you not think though? Do you think De Zerbi looked at what Basuma and Bentancur brought last year in that Europa League run, because they were in that midfield, and just thinking, because as soon as they both went off at the weekend, let's be completely honest, the game just swung more in Brighton's favour. At least we looked a bit more robust in that middle. I know Paulinho came on because he's meant to break it up, but as soon as the both of them went off,
because Paulinho is, and for as much as I give credit to Pellegrini, and I like Pellegrini as a player, people have to acknowledge his faults as a player, which is he's not good on the ball. He can maybe spray a diagonal pass or something like that, but when you play a team that presses you, he's a liability. Pellegrini is a safe player to play when you know you're going to be dominating the ball, which we don't know that we're going to be doing that, because how often do we dominate the ball this season under whichever manager you want to pick? It doesn't matter. So Pellegrini at times, especially if it's an even game, is a liability at times. And even though Basuma makes so many mistakes because like he just doesn't think on the pitch. Like he has a balloon for a head, and he doesn't think at all. There's nothing in there. But at least him and Bentancur could turn with the ball, can play the pass, be able to pass and move and get into a space and at least recycle the ball a little bit. But when it comes to Palhinha, especially if you want to try and stabilize a game, he's not really the guy for that. If you want to sit behind the ball and try and park the bus for maybe the last 20 minutes, Palhinha's good for that because then he can win the ball back and maybe drive with it a little bit in a straight line. But when they're trying to build into a game, which De Zerbi likes to build into games, Palhinha's just not going to be that guy that really fits in that system. I think he'd probably prefer a Bentancur in that 6 role or in a pivot rather than Palhinha.
So would you rather start Palhinha and then bring a Bentancur or Basuma on to get, if depending on the game state of where we are, if we're winning or losing, I guess it would make a difference. For example, Brighton, we were actually drawing at the time, so he brought Palhinha on, and as you guys were saying, the midfield looked like it was being overrun at times, but then we managed to get that goal from Xavi, innit? That Xavi came out and he scored that goal. Yeah. But do you think it would have been better to start Palhinha as opposed to bring him on?
When it comes to that game specifically, I wouldn't have even put Palhinha on the pitch. And it's not necessarily his fault, but the way Brighton play, Palhinha's not going to have a sniff in that kind of, because they're just one touch go, sometimes no touch. That's how Brighton like to start off slow, and then when they start getting into the groove, it's just literally just flick one touch goal. Palhinha, he's just not as effective when you have to play against those kind of teams.
What do you think, man, about Palhinha?
He's a destroyer, and I think what I think happened against Brighton is when Conor Gallagher came off for Bergville, because Conor Gallagher was doing a lot of pressing and harassing. And then that's how Bergville came on, sprinted on, which won the ball back. And it was Palhinha who actually went first. But the whole thing, listening to everyone, is that, and this goes through the whole squad, consistency. You have a couple of players, because like as watching the game and Conor Gallagher was looking around behind him and going, right, if we've seen the best pressing team, if one player press, one player's behind him. That's how it works. With Spurs, it's you have a bunch of players who are afraid or he doesn't have the energy. So when Conor Gallagher was looking around to see if Bentancur was going to come with him, no, he wasn't, because Bentancur doesn't have that endurance. He doesn't have that energy. And I understand Bentancur in some games is good because he's very good at calming the ball down, passing sideways, backwards, and doing things like that. And I know he's just back from first, but it's kind of like what Spurs need is kind of have a midfield trio who can dictate games and who can think outside the box, outside the gameplay. I was watching like Jamie Carragher's breakdown of Man City against Arsenal, and he was saying like how it started was that Arsenal were pressing Silva and Rodri in the middle, losing the ball all the time. So what Rodri and Silva did was they actually dropped back into the central in the box, which created panic because Brighton were doing like, and I think it's when Brighton changed their tactics, they put more men up front, which forced Spurs back even more. So I think it comes down to like whether these players have the mentality and capability to understand what's happening on the pitch and adjust, or just carry on. So I think the issue for Spurs is they've bought too many players who just are focused on the boss has told me to do this. I am not going to do anything else. I'm not going to go off the cuff.
So, but how does that fit Palhinha? Would you start Palhinha against Wolves, for example? Like, well, from what you saw at Brighton when he came on, do you think he made much of a difference? Do you think he's a type of player that we need in a relegation battle to start every game? Or would you think you need more, like Elijah would say, more mobility, more runners, more energy, and someone that can pass the ball forward? Like, where do you sit on this?
See, I'd pick Palhinha at the base because he's going to be one who secures, and then work my way from that. I would always pick Palhinha at the base because I think he's the best. He's a solid. He's very good at breaking up the ball, and then play whoever else ahead of that. So yes, the answer is I would put Polina
Against
'Cause he-
Wolves, for example, you'd use
yeah,
that.
against Wolves, because it's like, again, I think if Wolves are playing 3 and 5 in the middle, I think Spurs should play 3 in the middle and have that. But I just think Polini is a better. He's not there to pass the ball. That's not what he's there for. He's there to break things up, which he's very, very good at. So use as an example. So I would play Polini against Wolves, and then possibly play Bentancur and Xavi ahead of him.
Does anyone think that Wolves sit in a low block against us and try to soak up pressure, and therefore we have more of the ball? Or
So the question is
Yeah.
more for you on this one, because do you think it worked on Saturday what he did? Because of what you get from Paulinho is the Højbjerg
Yeah.
situation, where he's not, where he used to come on. Remember under Ange in the first season, he's come on for the last half an hour. Would you say it worked on Saturday to completely what he was expected to do? If we're being honest, it was one mistake.
Yeah, I think it worked to the extent of on the ball. I felt like we were pressing really high, and there was a lot of energy, and that's where we won that ball back. So it wasn't so much tactical. I think it was more of a case of, because De Zerbi did speak saying how he doesn't want to change things too much. But if you look at the profile of Basuma, like Elijah was saying, he's a bit more agile. He's got a bit more athleticism than like a Paulinho. Bentancur is more of a controller, so he can get on a turn, he can pass the ball forward. And then Gallagher is just straight legs. So he's going to be pressing the goalkeeper, the centre backs. And that, because they're all pressing, you can, go higher up the pitch. And therefore, if you win the ball, you've got more of a chance to turn that ball over and creating a chance to score on a goal. But I hear what Oren's saying, because there's certain times when Brighton would try to counter-attack, and you need someone that has that kind of discipline. Where will I be? Where do I need to be to stop the ball going in the back of the net? And Paulinho's got that defensive mindset. He will plug a hole where if your doggy pushes high up, who's covering him? Do you know what I'm saying? Paulinho could get across and stop those balls going in. There was a point when we were 1-0 up in that first half, and Jamie Carragher talks about it as well. And he said, you're 1-0 up. All you need to do is protect that lead. Protect that lead. Don't concede the goal. There's 2 minutes to go. So there is an argument to say if Paulinho's on the pitch, he's a DM, he's going to keep us literally in the game. He's going to protect that lead. So, yeah, I see both sides.
Which he kind of did at 2-1. Because it's him that goes across before Danso makes the mistake, and he cuts it out. That's literally what he does. He cuts it out. So, but do you risk that? Because as you guys said, in the first half on Saturday was the most amount of chances we had. I don't think you get that.
It wasn't. The thing is, though, it wasn't the chances that Spurs had. It wasn't really caused by the midfielders. It was caused by like little moments from Xavi as well.
But was he allowed to do it?
Yes, he was allowed to do it. But like,
because Basuma and Bentancur can pass him the ball where Paulinho.
Yeah, the thing is, you have to. I personally don't think. I think Basuma shouldn't play again. I don't rate him at all. I think he just fizzles off after 30 minutes. Yes, Paulinho can't do that, but he's going to be doing that. So you have Bentancur who can pass the ball, and it might free Bentancur up more having Paulinho behind him. Because yes, I understand why a lot of fans, and personally, I was one of them, was saying don't play Bentancur and Paulinho, because I was saying that because Spurs don't have a number 10 at the time. But now that they do, and especially if he plays Xavi at number 10, I think Paulinho is good enough to pass the ball forward, and Bentancur. It's just a bravery. I just think that when you come to the back four and you have Paulinho in front of him, then I think that's just going to be far better. I just think Paulinho is far better. Yeah, Paulinho is just far better closing down, and Gallagher as well. He's there to close things down as well. So if you have those two, and then you have Bentancur, but I think Xavi has to play at number 10. He can't play it wide.
You don't think he played all right as a left-sided player?
Because that's the thing. He drifts in, but then you have Destiny Dogi's going to have to overlap, and Destiny Dogi then gets tired, which then means he makes mistakes or he gets caught up on the field. You can easily put Till there and put Xavi there in number 10.
I think I think what De Zerbi's going to try and do now from now to the end of the season is, unfortunately, Basuma, Bentancur, Udogie, these are our better players. He's going to play them, use them for the first 60 minutes, then bring on your Paulinias, your Spencers, and them guys, because they're the ones you have to see out the game. Because if you watch them when they've started in the last few weeks, apart from Paulinia, obviously, we're just doing nothing. But on Saturday, you have Basuma and Bentancur, who were our Europa League midfield, and we're winning. Well, we were a lot better. We're a lot better than what we've seen. I don't think it was perfect, but there was certain times in that game where they complemented.
It looked like we had a midfield for a little while.
We looked for the first time, also for the first time in a while, it looked like we had a midfield.
And so, what do you guys think that was one of our better performances then, or was that one of our best performances of 2026?
It's one of our best performances all season, okay.
I'm trying to think of our
and it wasn't even that
performance
great.
in the Premier League. I'm talking about, not in Champions League. Premier
Yeah,
League.
one of
that's
our
what
better
we're
performances all season. Yeah.
Why would you then change?
It was better than what it was against Manchester
Yeah.
City.
I think he might. I think another thing that Xavi might do, he might drop Callum Mamani. I think he's seen enough to know that this guy isn't on par, doesn't do anything. Might play Till on the right.
I wish
You know
we had
what?
Odebear, man.
I
wish.
I
I wish we had Odebear. He'd be cooking so well, and I swear to God.
I think what it is with Colin Mawani, and I think this is where a lot of us have been tricked by, and I think the coaches have been tricked by it, and they're probably seeing it in training. When he does certain things, you can blatantly see he's got a bit of quality about him. This is Colin Mawani. The problem is when he goes out on a Saturday, that quality just seems to disappear. Okay, because if you look at the Paris Saint-Germain game away, first half probably against Arsenal, you can see there's something clearly there, and he's done it against the better teams. But I don't know what it is, if it's a mentality thing, but he doesn't seem to be able to get himself up for playing for Spurs. Because at Juve, again, and this is why Tudor trusted him, he was good there too. Juventus fans love him. I was listening to a Juventus podcaster, and they love him, and I'm like, have we signed the same guy? Because this ain't the guy that we got.
Clearly, Callum Mawani's not fit for the Premiership. As I'm not saying match fit. I'm saying he's
just not a Prem player.
He's just like, there's a moment where there's a pass played to him, and he just looked like a big giraffe trying to control the ball. You know what I mean? And I get that with confidence, but
it's so weird because you're right. There was a pass when he was through on goal,
and
it just goes underneath his feet,
and it goes behind him.
I'm like,
yeah.
Like, what the hell? But Ash, but when you probably did your analysis on him when he was at Frankfurt, he was probably taking those passes in his stride, and putting them in the net.
I think he's not able to in the
confusing.
Bundesliga. Like, I think you just have more space, so like you can kind of just get away with more. But like even Mawani, like we don't really see him in terms of taking on a player, right? If Mawani takes on a player, he's got a whole set behind him, and it's like I just don't know how often he was facing things like that in the Bundesliga.
There's two things I've noticed about that as well. Callum Mawani and Xavi, they fall over a lot. I think in the Bundesliga you get those free kicks, but in the Premiership the referee goes no. So I think like every time Callum Mawani, I'm going to get past you, I'm going to fall over, expecting a free kick, and he wasn't getting it. And Xavi was doing the same thing.
It's probably why he struggled in France, and so did Xavi struggled in France too.
I think the intensity, the speed of the game is a lot quicker. So you'll have upstairs, you have to be that much sharper and that much faster.
And Mawani is
like 2 steps ahead almost. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's why Xavi had a hot and cold, in my opinion, game on Saturday where he showed moments of what he's about. Do you get it? And two bits of quality, and he can produce it, and no one else on our team can do that, by the way, because they don't have that mind. And I like the fact that he spoke to De Zerbi, and De Zerbi bigged himself up and said, "Yeah, I am good. Yeah, I was a number 10 myself, so I know how it is. I know how to we see the game a little bit different." And he had spent a lot of time.
But how many times did he lose possession? Every time he fall over,
that's what I mean. I think he's sorry.
No, you first go on.
I think that he is looking for free kicks and trying to be smart. And it brings me back to Kevin Donzo. And this is what has kind of hurt Spurs in a way. there's players who are too busy trying to be smart. Like Kevin Dunzo tried to be smart and take a touch where he should have just smashed that ball into Rowe's head. When Xavi gets the ball, he tries to be smart and calls the referee into a free kick, which he loses the ball. And you can see the referee go, no, I'm not giving that. I'm not giving that. I'm not giving that. So I think the referees are looking now and going, right, if it's a bad challenge, and yet not a bad challenge, but if it's a worthy foul, I'm not going to give you a challenge if you keep falling over. You've got, So I think that's the case. And yes, you're right, Ash. You have to be that one step ahead. And Colin Mawani just looks dumb. Like, as a footballer, he just looks so
lackadaisical.
Yeah, he's like, I've
It's
never seen a football just look so. Maybe it's a French thing because Till looks the same. It looks like we're better than this. We don't give a fuck. Till looks exactly the same. It's really odd.
You know what it looks like? It looks like they're not trying, but like how it's like if Prime Messi played against 15-year-olds. Like he'll just kind of just move and just be like this and that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they just don't have the quality to act like that and still be effective.
Yeah.
So it's like the way they play is like, I'll try.
No, I don't know.
They just can't do it anyway.
I kind of disagree. I think it's hard because with Xavi playing on the left and him drifting into midfield, a bit like what Eze does with Arsenal, he kind of drifts into the midfields. They want to cut and shoot on their stronger foot. But what I've noticed, when Xavi's carrying the ball, he carries it with his right foot, which is
nonchalant,
goal side to the attacker. To the opposition. So the opposition's able to take the ball off him, or they're able to come across him. If he was left-footed or both-footed, he'd be able to keep it the outside and then use his body as separation, or just keep the ball away from the opponent. But because he's right-footed and he's coming from the left, every time if you watch him, he will try and knock it past the player. But because it's kind of goal side to the opponent, they're able to get in front of him, and he ends up falling on the floor every time. That's why every time I've watched him, that's what I see.
So you think this goes into one-footed players though? Like, this is what comes to like the downside of one-footed players if you don't have the technical ability. Because someone like look at someone like Olise, someone who's left-footed but plays on the right, and then look at someone who's right-footed but plays on the left. Is that Olise is so one-footed, but the amount of technical ability he has is so great to where like you barely even notice it.
But the last thing before you come in, Oren, I was going to say I think he was playing slightly better because players are a little bit closer to him, and I think De Zerbi needs more time with him, where he's saying take less touches, like Oren, like pass and move, 2 touch. So when those players are a lot closer to him, he can get little triangles, players running off him, bounce passes.
Basuma and Benson Clark can do.
Exactly. And I think that's why it looked a little bit better. Yeah, decision making wasn't always there, and sometimes he did try to carry it too much, and that's when we get dispossessed. But I think the more De Zerbi works with him in close proximity, he will find. And De Zerbi came out and he said, you either have to score or assist. You know what I'm saying? And he did both. So I'm not mad at like the amount of times he lost it or he didn't do something right with it. At least he come up.
If he had Richie up there, man, I'm
crucial moments, and that's what you need. And
if he's gonna do a shithouse performance, he's got to produce while doing it. Is basically what we're saying. If he's gonna lose it and drop over and whatnot, he's got to produce something like that.
But sorry, kind of took off.
No, you're absolutely right. That's what I was saying about how, because you're right about him trying to cut in, but I think he does that because he wants to draw a foul and then he doesn't get the foul. So he's like holding his hands on the so that and notice as well sometimes where he's trying to make a run, but the players aren't brave enough to give him the ball, so he can make it down the touchline. But like with Xavi, I'm not going against Xavi. I mean, he scored 2 great goals in the Premiership so far.
Can we talk about that goal as well? Because
it was a great goal.
I thought it was like a worldie, innit? I thought like he hit it off the post, like that was. Like, as soon as
it was his afterwards as well. Like the guy crumped up the fuck. Like
this is what I'm asking. I'm like, did he over celebrate? Because I think
no, that was a celebration. That was him working his ass off. That was
Yeah, mate, he did the rookie mistake and took off his shirt, man.
That's what I'm saying. There's a thing going on that some
Yeah.
fans are saying, he over celebrated. Like,
That's hindsight. No, I'm not having that from people who say that. It's hindsight.
he had every right to
Hindsight.
celebrate like that. The minor,
I think it's more to do with how much minutes he hasn't played many. He hasn't played
he
for
ran
9
himself
minutes for a
into
while.
that groin.
It's hindsight, because if we had 1-2-1, yeah, no one would be saying that you celebrate to it. What it is that the players are just looking for something in it. And how many times have Spurs been leading that far into a game? Like what minute did he score in? I guess around the 70th or something like that. Something like that, yeah. How when was the last time we were 76 minutes into a game and we were winning? It's been months, like let alone like winning a game. Just being in a scenario where it's like, oh, we could win this game. It's been months since that.
Do you think then De Zerbi should have managed his minutes more than if you're saying it was down to tiredness and fatigue and them not having 90 minutes?
He couldn't because like
I know because he made the substitutions too early in the game, but I'm saying
I don't think it was that.
Yeah, but I think the subs that he made were all
he
down
had to make those
because they're all on 60 minutes where these players needed to come off. I think
like Bissouma has been inconsistent in the league, so he's not properly even match fit in my opinion. Bentancur just came back, so those two gotta go. Gallagher was pressing the whole game, so you're probably dead tired as well. And then the other two are just kind of like game management kind of substitution. So
then I guess the question is then really, but I should be saying, can he copy and paste that particular type of performance and get result against Wolves? Would that work?
Yes.
And can he carry that into the season, like the last few games? And is this the reason why people think we'll stay up?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, the thing is, it's like
got there, isn't it?
The thing is, it's not. If we're talking about the individual players, what Xavi did,
as a fraud
as well when he scored, and he gave his all, and basically it's kind of like, again, the letdown. How the game finished pretty much summed up Spurs season so far. Something good happened, and it takes one player to make one silly bad decision, which cost Spurs the game. And you can see the players. You can see Xavi throwing his hands up, going for, almost for fuck's sake. Like, we were that close. And even after playing through cramp, we all know how bad cramp is, and he kept getting it, and whatever, it's fatigue, whatever. But it's just those little moments that has. But if I think that should hopefully be enough to galvanize the players to get a win against Wolves. And he might even play Xavi as a number 10 and play Till, or even Richarlison, Solanke, and Till.
I don't think Richarlison worked on the left, personally.
I want him up top, man. Get Solanke off that damn pitch, bro.
But the thing is, with Solanke, and this is a good question, it's a good debate to have, because a lot of people thought like Solanke didn't contribute because he didn't score, or he did
far more than
score. But yeah, this is what I was going to ask for. Like, did he not like hold the ball up? Wasn't he like battling with Van Hecke? Didn't he carry that ball one time where he put Xavi through, and Xavi obviously beat the man, and then he hit the post? That would have been an assist for Solanke, no?
And he went out wide to set up for the first goal. Solanke's a worker. Like, he's so unselfish.
You want your forward to score goals, isn't it?
Yeah, but like Richarlison is.
It's because we need goals right now. We don't need, and that's the biggest problem. What do you go for when you need goals? Because Richarlison, no matter for his thoughts, will score goals. He's crap everywhere else.
But only
score goals, and we need goals.
Richarlison only tends to score tap-ins. He's not going to.
He's the only one that's in position to score it, though.
But that's the thing.
That's the thing. Right now.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's like Richarlison isn't in a position to score those either because he switches off. Like, Richarlison will probably miss more chances than he will score, and that's all you have.
Yeah,
which Solanke don't have chances though.
No, but because he's not getting provided
those chances.
No, because that's that's what I'm saying though. Like, if Solanke has to stop, we only play with one striker. So if Solanke is not being the striker because he's helping other people, I want my striker there. If there's a chance that it falls in the box, I want Solanke to be. I want my striker to be there.
Yeah,
and if it comes down to that, like when we play with Richarlison up top, and I'm not no Richarlison fan, but like Richarlison scores, in it. Richarlison is yes, and he misses open chances. I'm not saying he doesn't, but at least Richarlison is in the box in a position to get those goals. Like, the one thing we criticize Brennan Johnson is he only scores tap-ins. Well, you got to have the IQ to be in that position to get the ball, and at least Richarlison has that. And in a scenario in which we need goals, that's why I say, like,
he still misses chances when he's up close.
But that's the thing. Like, Solanke doesn't get those chances at all because he's not there.
Solanke's too busy. Look where Solanke is.
But that's my problem. I don't want Solanke there.
That's what a strike that he's trying to do something because he's opened up the game for Xavi. Xavi had made that.
I don't want Solanke. I don't want Solanke to open up the game for someone else. I want someone to open up the game for the striker.
But that's the team.
Okay, but Oren, in that situation, in that situation, who do I want in front?
I get what you're saying.
Do I want Xavi?
I get what you're saying.
Solanke?
But what is Solanke meant to do? Just stay in the middle.
Yeah, I want him to be in the. I want him to be in the middle. I want him to be the most central.
I'm sure he does that as well. He's not being.
That's where Solanke is, by the way. He's the guy on the ball right now. So Solanke's got about 3 or 4 players around him, and he wriggles out.
He gets
down the side.
But you see, it's funny
because he's got the ball in those positions. It's not his fault if he has to do that. Harry Kane would do that.
But Harry Kane also has the IQ to where if he doesn't have to be part of the build-up.
Yes, but when Solanke's in the box, he doesn't have someone who can do that and cross the ball.
How often is Solanke in the box to receive a chance to score a goal?
Because he's too busy dropping deep.
When was the last time Solanke scored?
Was
when was the last time
Solanke
Man City? It was Man City. Man City?
Yeah,
which is for a striker, no matter what he's doing off the ball, at the present moment, I'm going to say it again.
Solanke, you see number 19? That's Solanke right there. Do you see where he is? That ball should go into Solanke, no?
Yeah, where does that ball go?
No, but go back a step. Now, you've seen the 2 pictures, yeah? Solanke doesn't make a run to be the first one at that front post. That's what good striker
He don't make no run. He just... That was wide open grass, right in front of him, and he just
there's wide open grass because the ball gets played. Look there, he makes no effort to get in front of. He's not, because when the next picture, he's behind him.
What happens in that game? Does the striker go for goal?
See, look where he is. He should have made the effort to. He should have been in that box quicker. A better striker and a smarter striker would be in there.
Yeah, but Richarlison's no better.
No, he's no better. But what we're saying is, Richarlison, unfortunately for us, because I'm not saying he's better, he's more likely to put it in the back of the net.
He's more likely
I don't know. I think I have to agree with Oren, and I've lately been agreeing more and more with Oren.
Well, that's how you know you're delusional.
Well, that's when it goes and stopping logic.
You must be talking about the rapper because you ain't talking about what he's talking about.
I was listening to what you guys were saying before, and I think if you have to look at it from De Zerbi, the way he's looking at it. Now, what I saw from Solanke, apart from the fact that he didn't score a goal in that game against Brighton, he did everything else very well. And he was actually linking up play quite well. He was holding the ball up, which Richarlison cannot do. And the when you have a player who the players around them trust to actually be able to do something like that, to be able to control the ball, bring it down, to be able to hold it up, to be able to link play, to be able to make some runs, to be able to... There was a couple of times where he made some decent runs and put a cross or 2 into the box as well. And like Oren said, he was dropping deep, but he wanted to be on the ball. Not like Richarlison. Richarlison is different. And the problem is, Marlon, you have to look at it that when you've got someone like De Zerbi, how many times have we heard him say he wants people to be on the ball, right?
Yeah.
And when you put when you put Richarlison up front, Marlon, what happens is he loses the ball more and more because
And
I just
I agree. Marlon, I agree with that.
Right. The only thing I'll say is you have to think of it from a logical point of view. Is why do you think he's playing Solanke? Because his overall game is better than Richarlison's. And on top of that, if you are a striker and you lose the ball more often than not, then what happens is it puts more pressure on the team because they will break again, and it puts more pressure on the defense, which makes it more of a chance of us conceding a goal because we've lost the ball again. Which is why De Zerbi wants players who are good on the ball, because then you have less chance of creating more pressure against us. Which is exactly why, Marlon, when Basuma, Gallagher and Bentancur went off the pitch, we lost the midfield battle. That's why we lost. That's why we drew the game.
We said
exactly
we said
why.
That. But the issue, but the issue that we've got at the moment is that, Danny, and this is why I'm saying it is right now we need goals, and Solanke's not giving us that.
But there's a reason.
I completely get what all of you are saying, and I get that, and I completely agree with that. But it's right now in a relegation battle where we need goals. Solanke needs to produce goals right now, because we can't be having a right back score a goal and Xavi scoring goals when we need more from our front three right now.
Like,
See the clip here, yeah? Sorry, Aaron, go on.
Sorry, Richarlison has only scored 9 goals out of 27 games this season.
Yeah,
I know,
that's rubbish.
But Solanke's
He's got 13 or 14, and Solanke was out most of the season.
yeah.
Yeah, but Solanke's coming to the second part of the season where we have struggled. No, listen. But he scored. Last time he scored was against Manchester City. The team is playing poorly, but when we were playing poorly before, at least I didn't like Richarlison. I hate him. I think he's crap. But if he's going to put the good ball in the back of the net right now, I just want someone to put the ball in the back of the net.
I don't think Richarlison will do that.
Yeah, I think they're just.
You just told me he's
9 times over a course of season. That's not good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's been injured for two periods.
But Solanke has been injured more.
I don't get this.
Yeah, but Solanke.
But again, like Danny was saying, that's the thing. When Solanke was out injured, the fan base was, we wish Solanke was back.
Yeah.
No, he's back.
I know. Yeah, and I remember saying, I remember saying to people at the time, this goes back to a player getting his reputation's getting bigger when he's out.
Well, yeah.
And it's and when he come back, and I get all the off the ball stuff, and I completely.
It's the overall game brings. It's the overall game, which is why.
Yeah, but the problem is the problem is right now the overall game hasn't been working for the last 2 months.
Yeah, but Zerbi's only just came in, mate. You've got to give him a chance.
It's not only that as well. It's like if you're a striker, even the best strikers need players who can create chances for you.
Exactly.
And if they're not doing that,
but then let's go back to Sunderland. I know Richarlison missed 2 as well, but Solanke gets that. There's a point in the first half. Solanke gets his chance, and he just. I still don't understand how he missed it.
What about Richarlison? He had 2 clear.
Yeah, I said Richarlison as well. Yeah,
he flopped them.
Yeah, he did
Archie Gray.
But this is our problem. We need goals. Archie, don't get me started on Archie Gray. To be fair, at least Archie Gray got in that position.
But it doesn't mean anything, though, does it, Marlon, if they don't score, right?
If the problem is, it goes for the reason why I'm looking at it going, I don't even want Richarlison to play up front, but I'm looking at the situation right now is if I'm going to trust the person to score for Spurs at the moment, forget gameplay and everything.
Can I ask you a
question? I'm more likely to trust Richarlison to score than Solanke.
Can I ask you a question? Or for anyone who wants to answer it. So do you not think, though, there'll be more of a chance of Solanke scoring because his overall play is better, which means the team can link up more?
No.
I'm going to say, because look, we got 13 shots more than Brighton. You know what I'm saying? We got 13 shots.
Where's this hate for Solanke all of a sudden? Like, what's he done?
It's not hate for Solanke, but if he's not at the goal because he's helping create for other people, then he's just not going to be in more positions to score. Like,
yeah, but but the thing is, you have to understand that the way that he played was the reason why we played the way we did up to 60 minutes, right?
Yeah, sure, but if you have a creative player if you have Xavi, like let's say it's the same lineup, right? But you take out Solanke for Richarlison. If you've got Xavi Simons on the left and you have Kolo Muani on the right, you have Kolo Muani. We know Kolo Muani. He ain't doing nothing. He ain't doing. I ain't gonna lie. Kolo Muani is just a problem.
I'd take Kolo Muani off to Richarlison. That's what I'd do.
You could do that too, but like Kolo Muani is just a problem anyway. I'm not gonna lie. And I think if we had Kudus, then like maybe it's something different. But Solanke would work better if we had. If our wingers or our 10 were goal scorers, in my opinion. If you want to do the link-up thing, then sure. But like, if you don't have clinical players as wingers and as a 10, then he's linking up for who? Like,
but that's the thing, though. Yes, you're absolutely right with that. But if Xavi and Kolo Muani can't cross the ball, and then there's no point Richarlison being there. So Richarlison isn't getting chances to score. He can't hold up the ball. He can't make passes.
Exactly.
So but if we're playing Bentancur, but we're playing Bentancur and Bissouma and Xavi, and then I get Kolo Muani, but at least Kolo Muani is possible, I guess. But we're literally trying to have more technical players and more ball players in the midfield. You're telling me you need Solanke to link up as well?
Yeah, because linking up brings players and gives spaces and open chances for other players.
But where was Richarlison? Where was it though?
What?
But apart from a couple of times, I understand Solanke. Sometimes the left wing, Xavi hit the post.
Did we have 1 or 2 shots on target?
We had some chances, and I'm not saying again. I know that Solanke is a better player than Richarlison. I'm not debating that at all. But with the way that we're trying to play, it's so frustrating watching Solanke because sometimes will defend and will break out. And Xavi Simons is the furthest player forward. I'm wondering, where is the damn striker? Solanke is either back there or he's on the left. Like he's starting off on the left. Like,
but that's the point. Right, the goal that Pedro Porro scored, that should have been Callum Mwani. But with Callum Mwani, he's a giraffe. He's just looking. I'll let you do it, mate. So basically,
they leave more there.
So if you remember when Harry Kane dropped off, remember that season Harry Kane scored like 11 or 15 goals or something? He dropped off. What happened? Where was Son? Bam, gone. Straight away. So basically, when you have a striker who's holding up the ball, it's up to you to then position yourself to receive the ball or be part of it. But Spurs don't have that.
So which is why I'd play Richarlison, because
but that's the thing. Richarlison doesn't hold the ball. Richarlison can't hold the ball up. He can't make runs in behind.
It bounces off him more, doesn't it? It just
it doesn't. So what does Richarlison do?
But I don't want my striker to be part of the link. I don't want to.
But that's the thing. How do you get the ball? How do you get the ball up top? We've seen Richarlison play up top on his own, and he doesn't do anything.
He's awful.
So basically, you can't even link up.
If you don't have a striker that links up the play, then you just can't create chances as a team. That won't make no sense.
Well, you have to have a striker. Every top striker in the world is ability. Harry Kane's the best striker in the world right now. Why? Is it because he just scores goals? No.
Yes, I get it, but Harry Kane's a generational player. We're talking about
all top strikers who are Solanke's size are there to link the ball. That's how you do it. You hit the ball up top, you bring it down, and you try and link it.
Haaland's
don't link no ball.
That's what you're telling me.
No, Haaland does do. Haaland's been criticised for not doing more link-up play and holding the ball up. Yes, he has. He's been criticised. And he does try.
And he does try. But does it work though?
Elijah,
it will work because having Haaland up front, what Man City has is Doku and Semenyo who have
creative players, right?
Yeah, who creative players.
So if you have creative players behind the striker,
Solanke doesn't have creative players. Solanke doesn't have creative players around him.
He has Xavi Simons on that. He has
Elijah,
I'm not saying they're not as creative. I'm not saying they're as creative. But if
who would you have?
Let me ask you one question. Just one question, Oren. Right? Why is it that as soon as Solanke got fit, Thomas Frank brought him back in and didn't drop him? Why is it that Tudor picked him constantly? And why is it that De Zerbi has gone with Solanke when Richarlison's been fit? Every single manager chooses Solanke over Richarlison every single
bench
time.
Xavi Simons. So
why?
They all bench Xavi Simons at some point. Tudor notoriously benched Xavi Simons.
Solanke's
De Zerbi benched Xavi Simons the first game, and Thomas Frank was benching Xavi
when they win the game, come back to me.
What does managers bench?
But Marlon, win the game first, three different managers. That you can't argue the facts. 3 different managers have all stuck with Solanke because he's
also
the best player.
And also not stuck with Xavi.
And all of them have lost
as well.
We lost Marlon. We lost Marlon because we didn't have Bentancur and Basuma and Gallagher fit in our midfield. That's why we lost.
They still found ways to bench Xavi Simons. All 3 of those managers.
It's in his first game, mate.
So
but
what?
But you
included him benching
Xavi. But we talked about why he did this. We talked about why he did it against Sunderland because he felt that against Sunderland, the same thing happened against when we saw Simons got fouled. Well, not fouled, fell over and over again. The only difference is that Simons assisted and scored. If he'd have done against Sunderland and didn't get anything, he'd have been criticised.
He played.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. He didn't start because I'm telling you why he didn't start because he looked at those 3 midfield players and go, they're big guys and they're easily. And Simons didn't start at number 10. He still started out on the left, which he hasn't really shown on the left.
Yeah.
The goal he scored was because Polina and Bergville harassed the Brighton midfield and created a mistake. So basically, what I'm saying is like Richarlison is basically he does nothing that can hold the ball up or running behind. He offers nothing.
I'm saying
he's a tapping merchant.
Simmons has been mismanaged by every manager.
He's not there to score tap-ins. Like I don't know what to tell you, bro. Like
I'd rather have but we're giving you a reason why. It's not like Solanke's just idling in the draft. He's the one setting up play. Richarlison, if Richarlison did that, guarantee you he wouldn't be there for tap-ins.
I don't want him
the manager nightmares.
I know what you don't want him to, but I'm telling you what the manager wants him to do. Solanke has been told to hold up the ball and to be more aggressive and
yeah,
hold the
sure.
defender.
But just saying, we don't. But we're literally just having a conversation of who we would prefer up top. And so going to the manager, respectfully, De Zerbi's not here, so I don't give a fuck what you have to say.
Well,
now.
okay, we
right
all think we'll all agree we prefer Solanke up top. The only reason people are saying about Richarlison is because he scored 9 goals this season. That's it.
That's literally it. Yeah.
If you were to ask at the start of the season, who would you prefer? Fresh season, Spurs stay up next season. Who would you have? Solanke or Richarlison up top?
Solanke.
Yeah, but I love Madison.
Richarlison. If everyone's healthy, I want Richarlison up top.
Richarlison is
ridiculous.
Richarlison. I don't agree.
Richarlison. I hope Richarlison leaves this summer. He shouldn't even be at the club.
I hope he does. I hope he does. I don't rate him, but he scores goals. Solanke doesn't. I want Richarlison.
9 goals. That's all he scored.
It's a quick one.
How many Solanke scored? What, 3?
He's been
injured for most of the season, mate.
Richarlison got injured too. So what?
Oh, for what? Couple of weeks. Richarlison is when Richarlison's injured, you don't miss him. When Solanke's injured,
according to Danny, as soon as Solanke came back, Richarlison just had to hold bench, innit? So like, what did Solanke?
Yeah, because there's a reason why. There's a reason why.
The managers put him on the bench, mate. The managers put
Richarlison. You put Richarlison because
so what did he do when he was on the bench?
He doesn't do anything. Richarlison doesn't do anything other than just get the odd and toppings.
He came on and what, Danny? He scored.
Richarlison is good as a super sub. I like him as a super sub. If
he offers nothing, then why would you want him as a super sub?
He can't play. He can't
because
start the game,
and score goals.
He can't start the game.
But he doesn't come on. Even as a super sub, he doesn't come on and score goals all the time.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't. That's right.
So, guys, just a quick one. This is Spurs' average positions. Yeah, the players in their average positions, and as you can see, I don't know if you can see, but number 7 is Xavi. Yeah, so number 7 is Xavi, and next to him, number 19 is Solanke. Next to him is Conor Gallagher, and then it's Matthias Tell. So it's almost like it's a 39 is Mwani on the right-hand side. Yeah. So it's almost like Spurs are playing a 2-4-4 in possession, yeah? Slightly like a mid-block almost. But the point of what I was trying to make is because Xavi is in the top 4, that allows the doggy, if you can see his heat map, to get up and down. He was the one that was going to provide the width. And then, so we will have sometimes a 2-3-5, if that makes sense. So that was the average position when you've got a doggy going down, up and down that side. Then, obviously, behind that, you've got Basuma combining with a doggy at times. So you can see the heat maps are overlapping. And then you see also Xavi Simons. He wasn't married to the left. You can see the heat map. He was dotted all over. So I don't know if that answers your question about Xavi Simons. I think in terms of Solanke, in my opinion, I think that De Zerbi is going to stick with him, whether we think Richarlison's a better striker or gets more goals than him. But I think the reason why he's going to stick with him is because in his interviews, he talks about having forwards that are clever, that are smart.
Correct.
Now, out of the two, I think Solanke is slightly more clever.
He's definitely got a more.
Slightly. No, he's more clever than Richarlison. There's no debate about that.
Richarlison.
Case of
So I just opposed to debate. I just think regardless, I think he's going to start.
Zerbi's going to pick Solanke.
Exactly.
Yes, Zerbi's going to pick Solanke no matter what. But it could be a mistake in the sense. And the reason why I'm saying because we're not in the sense of we're not in the middle of the season. We're not in January, February.
The problem is
time at this present moment.
We need goals. Marlon. The problem we've had is all season is we've never had a steady team. We've never had the same team consistently playing together. It's always been chopped and changed all the time, which is why I agree with you, both of you. I think he's going to stick with the team that played against Brighton. That's what he's going to go with for the majority of the season now, the rest of the season, because he has to bring. In order for us to start playing even better, they've got to be used to each other, and we haven't had that. So, and also. Richarlison, I think Richarlison's a player who can produce a moment of brilliance every so often, right? But his overall game is like Brennan Johnson. He's non-existent majority of the time.
Yeah, I know. I could do Brennan right now, though, because I could do these goals.
These men don't want goals, Marlon. They don't
I'm not going to lie.
No. I don't think Johnson scored in this particular system. I don't think Johnson.
No, Johnson won't score in this team.
And by the way, Richarlison, the last time he played up front, he didn't score. and that was
Yeah,
against
Sunderland.
Nottingham Forest at home, where Forest beat us 3-0. Just saying.
What was his
Can we blame
assist
Tudor?
rate?
Oh, he
Can
was
we blame Tudor
awful
for
that
that, though?
game. I remember.
Do
He
you remember
was
that?
so bad.
Did
Remember
Solanke? Yeah, but Solanke was
Yeah,
up top
Solanke
too,
was up
wasn't
top
he?
as well.
Yeah,
both
yes, it
were
was both
shit,
of them.
Hey,
So they're both crap. If you can't throw shade at one, if the other one's playing,
Solanke's only played 500 minutes less than Richie, and he has 6 GA less, bro. He has 9 GA less actually, in just under 500 minutes. It's looking spooky, bro. I can't lie, man. But facts are facts, though.
Played nearly 27 games this season.
Yeah, because he's come on as I'm looking at the minutes played in the Prem. It's 500 minutes difference, bro.
Still played 27 times, and
It's 500 minutes of football difference.
Solanke's played like 14 games.
No,
It's
but
500
even,
minutes
even
difference.
this year, the stats won't always show the build up to get it. They won't show the pre-assists or what Solanke did to help get like involvement of the goal. So that's why it's going to look more favourable in Richarlison. And Richarlison was playing at a time where we were getting results or getting 1 or 2 goals. So it's obviously going to favour.
I use my eyes, and what I see from Richarlison is something I'd never want to see in a Spurs shirt, to be honest with you.
I say the same thing about Solanke.
And I'll be completely honest. I think all him, Mawani, and Solanke.
We all agree on that.
Yeah,
we all agree on that. We all agree on that. That's not a debate. The debate is
all garbage.
Which is the worst of the two, Richarlison or Solanke? That's not the debate.
It depends.
It's a coin flip, no?
Heads or tails. I admit to you,
to be fair,
I would be picking Solanke.
Richarlison's a poacher. Solanke's not really a poacher.
I think I was a bit gutted that after Solanke's last few games, yes, he played well on the weekend, but the last 20-30 minutes, I just expected to see Richie
I wanted to see him come on, to be honest. Yeah.
How come, Daddy?
I think that's what I'm more.
There we go.
Because he's a good as a top player.
But the link-up play, though, Danny. But the link-up play. What are we doing here?
Because he's a decent sub-player.
Sub-player for what, though? But he doesn't do anything. So, like, what's
You're right. That's why he didn't come on.
Yeah,
evidently, man. Give Solanke more minutes. It's looking spooky.
In fact, they got Till to come on.
Give Solanke more minutes, bro.
But that was because
maybe
so basically, Zerbi could have taken Solanke off and stopped him for Richarlison, and he still didn't do it.
Maybe Solanke might get more pre-assists in it, you know what I'm saying? Or pre-assists, you know what I'm saying? Because he's just so good at link-up play, innit? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the Nando's Perry sauce. Yeah.
It's basically like I said.
So did Solanke have any thing in the both goals on Saturday?
3 goals in 1,000 minutes, man.
I'm arguing about a pigeon. It's crazy, bro. 2020. Arguing over a pigeon.
Elijah really has an affection for Richarlison.
I'm loving this, bro.
When your best strikers just won the Bundesliga for the second time.
Hey, 3 goals in 1,000 minutes. Hey, but the link-up play, though. Yeah, you gotta love it, bro. Hey, slapping him in the FIFA.
I would rather have a player who.
I love how you don't take into account that he's been injured for most of the season. I love that.
He has 500 minutes less than Richarlison. He's played 500 minutes less than Richarlison.
No, I would rather have a player who can hold up the ball and bring teammates in than a player who just stands there and runs about and does the odd toppings
every time he
I'd rather have Solanke if we had goal scoring.
And then we put pressure on our defense, which is why we concede goals.
I'd rather have a link-up striker if we have goal scoring wingers.
I would,
but we do not. So I'd rather have Richarlison.
Yeah, but that doesn't make any sense because like the wingers are there to provide for so if Spurs had better wingers, then Solanke wouldn't have to always be linking up play. The reason he's linking up play is because he doesn't have 2 players.
Solanke's been this way ever since he's been at Spurs.
Yeah, for the last 2 years.
Who did Solanke play with in the first season? Son Heung-min, Madison,
goal scoring wingers.
Son Heung-min, Madison, and Kulusevski.
Goal scoring players. Yes, exactly. So he could.
But that's why he did all right. He did all right in that season. What did Richarlison do that season? He did nothing. What did he do?
Oh my!
Nothing.
Yes, he has goal scoring wingers. You're absolutely right, Liza. But what I'm trying to say is that wingers, but with Richarlison there, Spurs don't have goal scoring wingers, do they?
So I would rather have Richarlison.
Right, Spurs don't have goal scoring wingers. Does Spurs have wingers right now who can even cross the ball and create chances for Richarlison?
They would be better at that than scoring goals, evidently.
Right. So how many assists? Who's the highest assist player for Spurs right now?
I don't know. I'd have to look it up.
Probably
Xavi Simons, I guess, but I'd have to look it
up.
And
how many wingers do Spurs have that cross the ball for Richarlison to tap it in?
0.
Odegaard.
Sure, they're all injured. They're all injured. That's the
So
problem.
then, how are we going to create? How are we going to create if
Kudos.
Richarlison's the one waiting for creators?
If we're going to be playing more technical footballers in the middle, we're going to have a midfield of more
Which is
technical
what
players
De Zerbi
and
wants.
box crashers.
Well,
And a box crasher like Gallagher, then I'd want someone up there who's in the box.
But
when the ball's in those
Richarlison
positions.
doesn't. But
So
If we're going to have
you want a player who can't do anything technically, and there's going to be no players to give him the ball. Is that
If
so
we-
you're going
if
to
we-
be
if we're
wasting a
I'm
player
trying to
on the
answer your question.
pitch?
I'm trying to answer your question. So if we're going to have overlapping fullbacks who are going to want to get the ball in the box, if we're going to have a midfield of Benson Bissouma, two players who are more technical, if we're going to have Xavi Simons in the 10, like we all want, then yes, we're going to have players who are going to support the midfield, who are going to be out wide. I want my striker to be in the box. It could even be Solanke, I don't care. But I just want my striker in the box when we have players out wide. That's all I'm asking for. Richarlison will do that. Solanke
but the
does
reason,
not.
but
Not
if
consistently enough
but
at the moment.
what we're trying to say, Elijah, is if Spurs have that, then Solanke doesn't need to be dropping deep or holding the link up play. He can be in the box.
But he doesn't do it regardless.
Oh my word, fucking hell! I've already said why though.
There's no, even when we have that,
The goalie scored against Man City. The goalie scored against Man City. The back heeled. That came from across. So the reason why he drops deep is to try and get players involved.
Yeah.
Richarlison can't even do that.
No.
Yes, we all want our strikers to be, because people used to slate Harry Kane when he used to drop deep. Harry Kane shouldn't be there. But we understood that because Harry Kane had to drop deep because he had no other person who can pass the ball when Eriksen left.
Yes, yeah.
So basically, when Eriksen was there, when Song was there, when Dele Alli, Harry Kane was able to stay in the middle.
And who did he have with him that was able to score goals on the wing?
Song.
Okay, then. So if he has a goal-scoring winger, he can drop deep and help create. So
yes, but what I'm trying to say is Harry Kane still stayed up front. Harry Kane still stayed up front, even though if he had Song.
What we have right now are not. But we don't. Do we have goal-scoring players in the whole? Take every type of midfielder we have, wing or whatever. Are any of them goal scorers?
No, but that's why you then need the striker to hold the ball up.
Exactly.
To try and bring them into the game.
Exactly.
Because they're not going to
not score. To not score.
Oh my word, you're missing the point here. You're so set in trying to get your own point across. You're not listening to what anybody else is saying. The reason why Solanke has to drop deep is because Spurs don't have goal-scoring wingers. So he has to link up play. If Spurs had goal-scoring wingers and who were able to attack the ball and cross the ball, then Solanke would need to drop deep. He would be in the middle.
We saw that against Brighton, right? So he has to come back and help link up play because we don't have goal-scoring wingers. So when we got the ball up, who was it that was in the box?
Well, because Solanke had to drop deep, because Solanke was usually the one starting from deep.
No, I agree. I'm fine with that. So who was then in the box to them?
Well, it should have been Colin Moani, because he's the reason. He should have been that striker to go, I have instinctive to get in the middle.
But that's the point. He's not a goal scorer, so you don't have the IQ to do that.
Right, so that's not Solanke's fault.
So I would rather have Richarlison to be up there.
But Richarlison's not even going to be up there because he ball watches all the time too.
I disagree.
And but no, of course you will. You have to disagree because he's your boy. But Richarlison has missed chances. And he is. The way you defended him, you give him all the contract. He must be your boy. Basically, I have seen Richarlison.
He might be watching.
The way you're defending him. The way you're hyping him up.
It's not hyping him up.
If there was a vote for
Richarlison, about Solanke and you don't like it.
Exactly. You don't like Solanke, so Richarlison is your boy. The way you defended him.
No, we're not doing this because
he's your boy. Just admit it.
No, he's not, because I prefer Solanke as a player over Richarlison. He's not my boy. I've defended Solanke to my boy Jay, the Hotspur Cave, and he's been slating me for defending Solanke. Richie is not my boy. But what you're saying, we need link-up play. We need link-up play. We need a link-up striker because our wingers don't score. It makes no sense. It will never make sense to me. We need a link-up striker because the wingers don't score. So no one's scoring.
He has to bring, because he has to bring those players in. Yep. Xavi's not a winger. Xavi cuts in. So basically, when Solanke holds the ball up, Xavi's looking to get in beyond him. And if Solanke could turn, exactly like how the second goal almost came about. Yeah. The first goal came about because Solanke went out wide, held the ball up, came back deep, passed it to Xavi, who cut in, who crossed the ball for Pearl.
Yes.
The Xavi, the goal that almost went 2-0 up was again Solanke went up, went wide, held the ball up, and brought him in. So basically, the link-up play is that Solanke has to bring players in. But
And he played the ball to Xavi as well before he hit
the best example is Firmino.
That was a chance.
Firmino had Mane and Salah.
Yes.
He knew what he had to do: hold the ball up, and drop deep. But if Spurs had natural crossing wingers, then Solanke wouldn't need to drop deep. If they had better midfield, that's what I'm saying. So yes, Solanke wants any striker wants where Solanke does. He doesn't want to be there. He wants to be in the middle, getting tap-ins. But the reason why he's there is because he's taking one for the team. He's going right. I have to do this job because players aren't able to do it.
Well, also, Oren, it's like what De Zerbi said. It's like he basically wants a more intelligent player who can do a bit more than what Richarlison would do, which is wait for the ball. Right? That's Richarlison's type of strikers. Give him the ball in the box and he's got a chance. Right? Like you said, Elijah, he's a poacher. The problem we have with that is when you have Richarlison on the pitch, you lose an additional player who can give you more creation. Right? So I'll put it in simple terms for you. If Solanke is on the pitch, right, is he going to create more chances for the team and the players around him and link up the play better which then in turn would essentially create more chances than Richarlison would?
Sure. I think he does. I just don't think it's as impactful as you lot are trying to make it out to be. I don't think it is. I don't think the impact of whatever you guys are saying about Solanke just usurps the actual goals that we're getting from Richarlison. It doesn't.
All night.
Yeah, but you have to.
Solanke's got 3 goals in 1,000 minutes, and 2 of them came against one team in one game.
Yeah, but Richarlison's got 9 goals. So basic 9 goals.
Yes,
Elijah, can I ask one more question?
He's got 6 more goals and 3 more assists in 500 more minutes of play.
I'll ask one more question, right? If Richarlison is up front, who is going to help create the chances to give Richarlison?
Hopefully, the overlapping fullbacks in the midfield,
which they haven't been doing.
No. They don't well like that with Richarlison, though, does it? It doesn't. He's not when he's playing up front. Like every time he's played up front this season, it's not because someone's created something from him. It's literally because the ball is falling in certain situations or they've pressed at the top. That's what Richarlison does different to Solanke, because he doesn't need chances to be created for him. If that makes some sort of sense.
It's so simple for me.
That's what the issue is.
We have 2 overlapping fullbacks.
And we're not creating anything for our strikers.
Whether it's a 4-2-3-1 or whatever, or 4-3-3, whatever. The point is, we play with 1 striker, and then we'll have like 2 wingers, and we have 3 midfielders. So we basically like 5-man midfield with 2 overlapping wingers. I'm sorry, we're in a position where we need goals, and there's potentially 7 people that are contributing to an attack, minus the striker. I need my striker in the box to score, or at least be there. I need someone to be there.
You're talking about a situation if everything's going the right way for us. We're in a situation where we're struggling, right? And we need people. We need to give ourselves the best chance of creating chances as a team. And the only way to do that is to play more technically gifted players. And unfortunately, in this argument, Richarlison is less technical than Solanke is in his overall game, right? Which is exactly the reason why when Bentancur, Basuma, Gallagher, Richarlison, and Xavi played, we played our best football we have since we beat Brentford 2-0 or the second half against Man City, right? Which again, Solanke scored in that game, right? Yeah. So there's a correlation between when you play more technically gifted players and more intelligent players, you play better football because their brains work faster.
And Danny, I'll give you all of that, Danny. I'm not necessarily disagreeing with any of it, but my only stance is when you have 7 other players that's supposed to contribute to an attack, or at least 6. If you want to say if you play Pellegrini and he doesn't really contribute, sure, but 6 or 7 players that contribute to an attack. I don't want my striker. I don't want my striker doing link up, because I'm sorry, if Solanke's playing, if we get a golden chance, I want Solanke shooting that. I'm sure you man will agree. If Solanke's on the pitch, I want Solanke one-on-one with the keeper. Any type of chance we get, I want my striker on that. And he's not going to be on that if he's on the left wing helping these men out because they can't create without him. I'm sorry. especially with Xavi Simmons.
But is that Solanke's fault, or is that the players around him?
Hold on.
It's not
Danny, you
Solanke's fault.
you mentioned Brentford as a game. Who scored that game?
Was it Richarlison?
Of course he did.
Yeah.
And scored.
Of course. And like Oren, because I know you answered the question.
I forgot.
I know you answered the
Sorry,
question.
was the last time he scored?
It's not necessarily Solanke's fault that the other players aren't as good creating as other teams. I'm not saying it's his fault necessarily, but when it comes to the personnel that we have, every example you could ever name, I mean, every example you've named so far, whether you talked about Harry Kane or you've talked about Firmino, they've had goal-scoring wingers, so they can drop deep. We don't have goal scorers. We literally don't. The only goal scorer we have is Richarlison because Solanke has not scored. He's not been scoring. Apart from the Man City game,
the thing is, they don't even have creative wingers either.
They're more creative than they are goal scoring, though. But that's where I'm going.
Spurs don't have creative wingers. Spurs don't have any wingers.
They're more creative than goal scoring, though.
Spurs don't have any. But Spurs at the moment on the pitch don't have any wingers.
Yeah, yes, but that's why if we play Xavi Simmons on the left wing like we did against,
he's on a winger though. He'll cut in.
I'm not saying he's a winger, but I'm saying he's creative.
Yeah,
Marlon needs to get like crazy. Marlon, I don't need the ratings to I've already proven it with what I said. But like the whole point is, if Xavi Simmons, no matter where he plays, he is a creative player way more than he's a goal scorer. I know he scored. He's a more creative player.
Was that match he's played 14-27? Oh yeah.
Oh, what's the minutes? 1,000 to 1,500. Yeah, okay, bro. So that means Richarlison just come off the bench more.
He's played nearly double the minutes.
No, 1,000 to 500. I know. It's been a while since you've been.
He's played nearly
300
double.
minus 1,000 is actually 500.
So nearly double.
He's played what? We played 1.5 times more actually.
A couple of hundred minutes.
No, not a couple hundred. 500.
But show the heat map. Go down. Show the heat map.
He's got 9.
Go up. Show the heat map.
Oh my God! Look at Richarlison in the box right there. Oh my days! No, don't go past it, Marlon. Let's go to Ash. Oh, it's Ash. Ash,
it's not me. It's Ash.
Oh my God! Look at the red in the ball. Look at Solanke. Oh my God! He's playing centre mid.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Does that heat map show how many times Richarlison miscontrols the ball?
And how many chances he misses? So basically, right? No, this is the point. This is the point. No, you can get you're feeling good at the moment, but here's the thing. Richarlison, no, you're feeling good because you're proving me wrong, right? Which is good. So let me burst this bubble for you. Richarlison has more of a heat map. You're absolutely right. There's the facts. But yet, a guy who's been in the box more than the other striker has still only got 9 goals. What does that tell you? If you're a player, if Richarlison has been in the box more than Solanke and still only got 9 goals, that means he's probably missed more chances than he's converted.
But I've said that.
And the fact that you see all the way, and you see all this, the bottom line, that's Richarlison running back.
I might have 2 bubbles because you may have burst one, but there's still another one because I've already said that Richarlison misses more goals than he scores. The problem is that Solanke's not in the position to even be in there to miss a chance because he's not there.
But that does not mean. But if Solanke's had less chances in the box, but he's scored more, he's still got goals.
He scored 3.
Yes, but Richarlison scored 9, yet he's been in the box more than Solanke.
Solanke has played only 500 minutes less.
Yes. So if Solanke was in the box more, he would probably get more goals.
But he's not. That's why.
Exactly. But the reason why he's not is because if you look at the other things, he's doing more creative things than Richarlison. But Richarlison isn't doing anything. Richarlison does nothing on that pitch other than run at people. Richarlison does nothing on that pitch.
More impactful.
No, it's how can a player who does nothing on the pitch be more impactful than a player who brings all the players on the pitch?
Because he is a striker and he has scored more.
He does nothing. He does nothing. He missed more chances.
Oh look, see, look.
He's been more influential to us winning games.
He does better. Solanke.
What? I swear, bro. I test people be going blind when it comes to what actually wins games. Bro. This is
and he's got better dribbling.
No, it's just this whole myth that Richarlison should be playing.
Pivot with Gallagher, man. I swear to God, bro. This is ridiculous.
And he loses possession there.
Do you know what? This is how far we've fallen. We're arguing about Richie and Solanke. You know, that's how.
It's just using common sense.
We're getting relegated, bro. I'm joking.
We're finished. We are finished. On that note,
I wanted to talk about
Yeah, man.
if you should start. I want to talk about
That's for next.
Oh yeah.
That's gone beyond that.
That's next
That's
week.
gone beyond
Next
that.
week.
This is about like.
All right.
Elijah, who are you? Kinky or Vicario?
Kinky is okay. Hey, I'm not gonna lie. Kinski is the worst goalkeeper I've ever seen in my life.
In your
The
life.
worst goalkeeper.
Right,
I haven't
okay.
watched after Atletico. There's no going back for me, bro. He's the worst goalkeeper this season.
After what?
After Atletico, there's no going back for me, man.
I think
He's
he
like,
played well the last 2 games.
the last 2 games he's played well. I'm not gonna lie. He's played well the last 2 games, but
Anyway, time to finish up.
Yeah.
We are now going.
Not gonna get into fucking Kingsley versus Vicario. Fuck that shit. Let's finish it up.
You could stay and talk to whoever that guy is over there.
Yeah. I'm looking at the clocks like, what the fuck? Half 12. Yeah, we're not getting into this. Kingsley versus Vicario. No, we've done Richarlison Solanke debate. That's filled the whole thing up. That's enough.
oh man.
So let's go.
Box office, what's up, man?
Oh yeah, Donzo versus Romero.
Danso all day long.
Hey, that's what should be captain alive, Alex.
Right,
Should be captain.
Alex, get your point in because I have to go. Get your point in. Go.
The standard's gone
When we
so
go.
bad. As the standard's gone so bad
I
at
love it
Tottenham
already.
Hotspur.
Yep. we're
Yes.
18. Of course, we're
And the
18.
That's why
standard's
we're
gone
getting
so
it.
bad. that we're now arguing
Yeah, we're 18.
who's better, Solanke and Richarlison?
Yes.
Bro,
Hey, Alex, don't
We're
front
doing
that, Alex.
this.
No,
Yes,
Alex, don't
that's
front
exactly
Alex.
what we're doing,
You
Alex.
no diddy, Alex. You saw me 2v1 these, man, and come away with the double.
I'm
You
sitting
said that,
there
right?
saying I'm not being
You said
funny. I
no
was
diddy,
there at the
but-
game, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
man.
Solanke was shit.
Thank you, box office. That's my guy,
Solanke
man.
was shit. No
Thank you,
disrespect.
man.
And Richarlison's even worse.
Hey, so like Richarlison's more impactful, though, so it's fine.
Even Alex is in the Richarlison. Alex, you sat back and go right. I need to help my boy out.
My guy.
I need to help my boy
Oh,
out. I need to get
you know I've got love. You know I've got love for you, Bob. You know I've got love.
You got love for everyone, Alex. I know.
Yeah, no.
This
You know
is
why?
just-
You know why I've got
Yeah,
love.
yeah.
for
This
you,
is
Bob.
just
You know,
not. This
you
is
know.
banterism.
Yeah, you know.
This is
You know.
just getting the stream going.
But I'm just being honest with you right now. Like I get everybody's point. But it just shows you how standards are so low.
Well, of course.
Bawani is like he should, like honestly, he's annoying me. He's annoying me that much, right? But
Hey, now you know how we feel when you come on the
Marlon, you just went me.
Oh,
That was even below the
Alex,
fucking
that's fighting
angle.
words.
Not even
That's
the
fighting
belt.
words. That's fighting words. Hey, Alex, I
Drop
need
the
the diss track
mic.
from Marlon.
This
track from Marlon
is coming on Marlon now, bro. This track is coming on
damn
Marlon.
it.
You know what I mean?
Leave that diss track.
Hey, I'll give- Alex, you better hurry up with this track here. Why have you not put one about me already?
You're my bro, man. You're just honest with me, bro. You know what I mean? But yeah, just
You know I love
no. It's all love it.
Quick,
But
quick,
like,
quick.
yeah, I just
Sorry,
don't
Alex.
get it. I just like, you know, we need 5 wins right now, yeah. So because West Ham literally gave us a lifeline today. They literally
Staying
gave
up,
us a
Alex. We're
lifeline
staying up,
today.
mate. I've said it for months. We're staying up.
Well, if 5 wins, then, bro, 5 wins.
I don't
So
think we need
to
5
score
wins.
goals.
I don't think
So
we need 5 wins.
at the moment, right? Okay, left West Ham have given us a lifeline. You know what I mean? So we need goals. So
We're going to beat Wolves, and we're going to beat either Leeds or Aston Villa as well. And we're going to get 2 draws.
at the moment, I don't really care about draws. We just need 5 wins. Even
yeah.
your manager, because it's your manager, because at the moment he still needs to prove himself. Right, De Zerbi, yeah. De Zerbi said 5 wins. Yeah.
Alex,
be positive. If
Alex,
you don't want to be positive, don't
he's
come in
saying
and
that to give the players belief. We were talking about this earlier on who's Sav's show this morning.
Sav's free.
Yeah,
Sav's 3 hours
it
straight.
was about the mentality.
Poor Sava.
sorry, Bob, I didn't watch it because I wasn't on, so it doesn't really matter. But the point is, though, because if Mr. Box Office, Mr. Box Office is not on, I don't really care. The point is, though, yeah.
Who would you have,
Right.
Zerbi or Poch?
Hey, you've been full of spice today, you know.
You know what I mean? It's like no disrespect, but like as far as I'm concerned, 5 wins. Because if we don't get 5 wins, and I don't want to hear this Tottenham fan saying, just be realistic. Okay, don't tell me about how bad consequences of relegation it is. Don't tell me about that then. You know what I mean? If you're going to tell me how bad it is to get relegated, then get 5 wins then. Because 5 wins tell me you want to get relegated.
No, but De Zerbi does
bullshitting in Tottenham fans. Tottenham fans saying, "Oh, we just need to get 5 wins, 3 wins because West Ham are not going to win." That's why we're in the situation we're in at the moment. That's exactly why we're in that situation. You get what I'm saying,
Alex? You think we go Chelsea and fist them up?
But we have to.
I think we got something for Chelsea. You know that brother, that manager. Yeah.
I think we'll give. I've said that we're not going to win any game. We're not going to win any game because
so that means you think we're going down.
Only doing what De Zerbi has done when he's gone in mid-season. No wins in 6, right? So I don't think we're going to win any game. I really don't think we're going to win any game because the pressure's on us right now, and we crumbled. We have crumbled. You know what I mean?
We've only just got our players. We've only just got some key players back.
North London grumblers.
We've only just got key players back. We've only just got Bentancur and Basuma back. And we played our best football in months.
And Bentancur was actually very good.
And also, just to remind you, and Ash can back this up, correct me if I'm wrong, but Brighton had the best form in the league before that game.
Yeah.
They're a good team.
No, they had the best form in the league. They had the best form in the league.
Yeah, but we've got the worst. Yeah, but we've got the worst.
But then we nearly beat them. The fact that the team down the bottom, the way that we are, nearly beat the best team in the league on form.
But who did Brighton play though to get that form? Though is the question. Who did they play?
No. But it could be But it doesn't even matter. But it could be an anomaly. It could, one of them freak results that everyone talks about. That's what that.
I don't think that was a freak. I think we were.
They've actually played decent teams.
Yeah, but I don't think we had the better chances though. To be honest with you, because Brighton did have chances. They did have chances. I think they had the better ones, especially earlier on in the first half.
So the first half we only scored the goal, and it was Xavi's one where he hit the post. And then in the second half, we had our goal, Paulinia's shot, was it? And Archie Gray's shot, with the other 3 shots on target. That's all we had.
I think when De Zerbi's your manager, you're going to concede chances, though. But that's the important thing of why we need to take our chances. Because if Xavi Simons scores that, then it's a 2-goal cushion, and maybe things go differently.
By the way, if you watch my channel, my match vlog, honestly, that goal, Xavi Simons' goal, was amazing. Honestly, it was amazing. I was right behind it.
It was shit last time. He was saying he's rubbish.
I stick by what I say. Yeah, he's a bit too lightweight because he had a mixed game. But that goal was amazing. Honestly, it was.
I bet you were going crazy.
Watch my video.
Alex doesn't ever celebrate either.
But go watch my match vlog. Go watch my match vlog. I've actually put.
I bet he was up. I bet he ran all the way to the front.
No.
He was chasing Ali Gold again.
Great goal. It reminded me of Gareth Bell's goals. You know what I mean? Because Gareth Bell would have scored that sort of goal. You know what I mean? Like he did those long range goals.
Well, that's how Son used to score goals as well in his heyday.
Yeah, that's how Sonny. Yeah, I was thinking.
And he was looking jacked. He took his top off to show off his muscles. He's like, "Look, I'm built. I'm ready for this shit."
He's not weak, man. He's quite stocky. He's quite.
But he kept on getting knocked off the ball.
The problem is, this looks like he's going to cry all the time.
Alex, you said were you at the game?
Yeah, I was at the game. Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
so I was saying earlier that when he gets knocked off the ball, did you notice that he was trying to play for a free kick? Because watching on television, every time he got knocked off the ball, he was like,
And I just think they're not going to buy it.
Yeah. So
they're not buying it. The referees are not buying it.
He can stay up if he wants to on his feet. He's strong. He's strong enough.
Yeah,
and he's bulked up from the beginning of the season.
Yeah,
but he needs to stick. He needs to stick on his feet. He needs to stick on his feet.
Ash is doing you wrong. Okay.
I'm not being funny. We need some creativity. Brighton are absolutely dominating. It's like that's the problem. We're on the track now. On the attack now.
It's really interesting that end, right? So yes, Xavi's goal was good, but what was it like? I know this is going to be weird. Like as a football fan, and you saw that Matoma goal, what was that like? Because when Matoma scored,
I've never seen Alex.
So
basically, when Matoma scored, everyone fell silent because it was like, "What the fuck did we just witness?"
Yeah, I honestly, that was the moment where I was like, I just didn't see it coming.
Yeah,
I did not see it coming. He taken it so well. To be honest with you, I thought we were going to go in half time in the lead, and it was just a cross in the box. And to be honest, Matoma taking it so well.
Yeah,
honestly, I just didn't see the goal coming. I didn't see the goal
coming. It was
a
great goal as well. I mean,
it was a great goal. I just did not see that goal coming whatsoever. I was literally, because Ben was behind me, right?
Yeah.
And I was just, I nearly tripped over my seat because I was like, what? I just couldn't believe it.
It's just like, what the fuck?
You must fell onto the pitch.
I just couldn't
that was the thing.
Honestly.
Even the commentators were shocked because it's like, what did we just witness?
Yeah.
Like the way he just placed it in and it just not so long. But yeah.
I didn't even know how to react watching it. I was just staring at my screen like, what's going on? How do you do that?
Yeah, it was just fucking. It wasn't even like
Alex in the equalizer 4.
Huh?
Alex is in the equalizer 4.
It looks like Denzel, isn't it?
Except it's just him just sniping all the Tottenham players he don't rate.
But the thing is, the thing that annoyed me about the thing about Danzo is that everyone's now blaming him for us being in even more trouble. Like, no disrespect, he had a good game, and this is not based on, that was never based on him. He's been actually very consistent. You know what I mean? And, you know, you can't blame his mistake. Yes, he made an error. He was dallying on the ball too long, but that's what he's like. He's not good on the ball. He's not good on the ball.
It was his fault, though. Like
it was his fault. Yes, it was his fault, but it's not his fault that Javi Simmons didn't bloody score his chance after what is it?
No, that's true. But like, there's 3 minutes left. I think like, I don't justify the things that came with it.
If that's Romero,
I'm saying if that's
fair enough then.
Fair enough.
It's the same energy.
And by the way, in the chat, I wasn't pretending to be happy when Javi Simmons scored, man. I was actually me very happy. That was me.
That was funny.
So like
that was Alex, people. That wasn't box office.
That was Mr. Box Office.
That was like the second
like behind me, Ben.
No, this is box office. The guy in the video is the guy you all
and also, I'm fed up with people saying, "Oh, we over celebrated." Oh, I'm sorry, but the people are taking the emotion out of a great goal. I'm sorry. When you're actually there in real time and you see a great goal like that, you are going to celebrate.
I was running around my room.
Alex, whose fault is that? Yeah, whose fault's that?
I was going crazy.
It's box office's fault.
They put me on fan reaction. Bro, I got on fan reaction TV because I was running around my room when Xavi scored. Bro. I thought it was over. I thought we won.
It was just a great goal. It was a great goal. It just reminded me of Son when he scored those goals against Leicester. You know what I mean? When Conte was in charge, he used to do that all the time. Gareth Bell. I mean, we just haven't got players like that, and it's a shame. It's a shame. Like
it's there for Xavi though. You can tell he has that potential in him.
He's got it.
Needs to have players who can pass him the ball straight away and get running for him.
I know.
Yeah.
But anyway, I didn't want to take too much of your time because I know you lot want to go to bed anyway. But it's like, you know what I mean? Because I can say things on Mr. Box Office TV anyway. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure.
But
make sure you go over to Box Office if you ain't heard. Get to know.
You ain't heard.
And I wait for the diss track against Spurs Kings TV tomorrow. Oh, Ash has got to be involved in that too, bro. he's the one. He's the one who just embarrassed you for the whole thing.
Crazy work.
Hey, we're a team. We're a team.
He's trying to get now we got caught. That's you.
Elijah, I don't know why you're not talking up yourself a little bit because you've got a few tracks on your channel, haven't you? You know what I mean?
I do, yeah, but it's you know what I'm saying. That's more about the joke side. I didn't release anything as scathing as what you did to Sean, innit? You know what I'm saying?
What's this? Ian box office are gonna do a duet.
You're the only one who try and bring someone else into it, bro. You're doing the duet, bro.
EJ Alex.
Big up, man.
Boys, been a pleasure as always. Can always have a laugh considering within the
That's what
situation
it's all
we're in.
about.
For sure.
That was good. That was really fun.
And thank you to the chat as well. You've been excellent tonight, consistently with us again. Thank you so much. Oren, box office at the end. Danny K with the pug.
Yeah.
Is that a pug?
The pug.
I think it's pug. Ash, any last words, mate?
Bring on the rivals, man. Bring it on, man. Wednesday.
You ain't got a greener there on Wednesday. You ain't got a chance unless Burnley.
No,
Unless Burnley.
I can pose as an
fuck
Arsenal fan if you want, innit? Like I'll act like I'm Arsenal fan.
Oh
Just
yeah,
if
well, we
Ollie
know
turns
an Arsenal fan that's a Tottenham fan recently, haven't we? We know who it is, don't we? We know who it is.
I'm not getting into that, bro.
Can't say that.
Don't get.
You're not allowed to make his name, boy.
Can't say names though. Can't say names.
That's the reason why I'm on this channel, bro.
Mad. But yeah, man, make sure you're hitting the like buttons, guys. I don't know what the like count is at the moment, but make sure you hit the like. And do subscribe if you do like some of the content. Big up to these lovely guys as well. Make sure you get down to their channels. Sub up. How much were you away from the 5, bro? The 5K?
Good question. We are 300.
Away from 5K?
Yeah, we need some people to
So
help us get that achievement before D-Day. No?
the relegation.
Hey.
5K before
Yeah, man.
relegation.
Big up, man. But yeah, that's it, man. That's my last words.
Yeah. That's it. Big up,
Yeah,
everyone.
big up. You got Rivals Wednesday. You got monthly show on Friday, a week early because it's the last Friday of the month. So we'll just do the last review of the last month. But as always, come on, you Spurs. Hopefully,
Tottenham is staying up.
Listen, hopefully.
Sir.
Big up.